What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 3 of the best podcast that you've never heard of, Small Talks with a Big Guy. Before we get rolling, I just want to give a quick heads up to everybody. Episode 9 of Hit the Go Home is also live. We talked about Clash at the Castle and some personal stuff going on in the wrestling life of yours truly. But enough about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got a good one for you today. You can already see him to my right or to my left, whichever way this uploads. I think he's to my right. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time in my history that I have had a return guest on this show. Didn't matter if it was this or the eCast. Ladies and gentlemen, Twitch streamer, YouTube sensation, TikToker, with over 8,000 followers between the three. This man is a podcast host with not one, not two, but 3 different podcasts. One of those having over 220 episodes, going on 227. Ladies and gentlemen, this man needs no introduction, but I'd be doing him an injustice if I didn't give him one. Ladies and gentlemen, TheGeekSlays.
That was a lot.
I gotta do you justice, brother.
That's insane. I feel like justice has been done. More than, I think. It's almost as bad as you name dropping me in the return episode.
Well,
I was not prepared.
Let's be real. It's kind of hard not to.
Fair.
I mean, especially since I'm talking to Artie the gamer.
That's fair.
You know? So
yeah, but I was not prepared. So I was like, oh, what the hell? I was like sitting here because I had it on while I was working on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like, what the hell? Why my name? And then I got mentioned a second time. It's like, you guys gotta stop. Too much. That was insane. But I'm doing all right. My sleep schedule is all sorts of weird now. So I'm weirdly tired today, but it's been a long day. I've been awake for like 5 hours, but it's been a long day.
For sure. So we did the eCast, the pilot part 3, 2 years ago.
Has it really been 2 years already?
2 years. I don't have an exact date, because the date, according to Spotify, is inaccurate because I had to re-upload the episode for some dumbass reason.
I remember that because I hit you up. I'm like, our episode's gone. What the heck?
Yeah.
Bro deleted me.
No idea what happened there. Everything else is still there. All the ClickerCast episodes, and then your episode just gone. Like, okay, sure, but
I was banished to the Shadow Realm.
Apparently. 2 years. What have you been doing in those 2 years, my guy?
Well, in those 2 years, I think I started 2 podcasts. I think that was the big thing that happened. Run the North and Dueling Fates. Dueling Fates is so much fun. Fates. Words are hard. Which is wild as somebody whose job it is to speak. But yeah, 2 podcasts, switched up how I do YouTube, doing technically at this point 2 YouTube videos every day, which is a little ridiculous, as well as still, the daily streams most days. Probably not streaming today, but that's okay. It was a weird day. I was supposed to be recording your show and another thing, and then that fell through, and then it's like, well, I don't want to fire up a stream before, and then it'll be too late after, so it's weird, but that's okay. But yeah, a lot of streams, a lot of traveling, I guess, because since then, went to TwitchCon the first time, went and visited you, went to Canada, went to TwitchCon again, about to go to Orlando for another convention, which is weird. I got invited to a convention. That feels weird.
The GEX or whatever.
GCX, the
GCX.
Gaming Community Expo.
I was close.
Yeah, very. It takes me forever to remember what that's supposed to stand for. I've been thinking of it this whole time. I've been yapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, making content. That's about all I do with my entire life. So that's most of it.
There you go. So, in the intro, I said that Scuffed Ass has got over 200 episodes. 226 to be exact. You're going on 227, I assume, at some point this week.
Yeah, it's already scheduled for Thursday morning.
There you go. What the hell, man? 226
every
episodes?
Week, never missed an episode.
That is incredible. Like, if I had a head on it, it'd be off to you. But, like...
I don't know how we've done that. We haven't even gone, like, a full 52 weeks straight for Run the North. Like, we've missed episodes. Dueling Fates hasn't and probably won't because we record really weird.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked really far ahead. So, and then we record, like, 2 at a time. So, like, we stay kind of ahead. So I don't know if that ever is going to change. Yeah, but we also aren't doing it weekly, if that makes sense. It's going up every week, but we aren't like, oh, every week on Monday we got to sit down and record. It's just like, all right, we skipped a couple weeks. Now we're going to record 3 on Thursday or whatever. But yeah, an episode a week for over 4 years because we started just before the pandemic started. Because episode 3, I think it's episode 3. Now I got to go double check real quick.
Yeah.
When did the pandemic start?
March 2020.
Right. So it was episode 3 because that's when the basketball player Rudy Gobert got COVID and was doing the goofy shit, like grabbing all the microphones and like, cause he thought it was a joke.
Oh,
and then it was like days later, the entire world just shut down.
Yep.
So we started just pre-COVID and have not missed an episode since.
It is wild, man.
Well, Wonder's missed a few, but...
Well,
Yeah. I think I've only ever had to do 2 episodes all alone, so it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them I would just find guests for. I think you have 4 episodes?
3 or 4. Yeah, I think so. Because we were doing a thing there for a while where I was like every 30th episode or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I was a part of the Creator Clash tournament.
Yep. And then I guess you were part of episode 100 as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so, I remember that.
Yeah. It was a long episode, just trying to record a little miniature podcast with everyone who'd been a guest in the first 100 episodes.
Oh, boy.
Now it's tough trying to find guests who are able to come on at the exact time me and Wonder record every week is different.
I can imagine.
Doing a guest with me and Wonder, it's adding a third person suddenly makes it really different. I don't know why, but it just does.
Well, I think it's got something to do with you and Wonder. Just like you guys play off of each other so differently than you do anyone else. But I mean, you guys also know each other IRL, outside of podcast, outside of Twitch, outside of blah blah blah.
True.
So
that's true.
What was the decision to make Wonder that permanent that permanent partner on Scuffed Ass?
So the first episode of Scuffed Ass was me and my brother-in-law, I think.
Yeah, because you guys were talking about like Apple and stuff.
Yeah, and crypto and a bunch of weird stuff. And then the podcast started as something after that episode was pre-recorded. I recorded that episode a year before I started Scuffed As. Like, it was just a recording we did that I didn't know what to do with. And when we started streaming on Mixer, one day randomly Wonder just came over while I was streaming and he sat down and we just hung out on stream. And people seemed to enjoy that. And I was like, oh, we could just make this like a weekly thing. Well, I remembered that episode I had done and the intro, and I was like, I could just start this podcast. You could come over once a week. We just stream it, record it, and upload it to all the podcast platforms every week. And for the first very long time, it was mostly just Wonder. He'd miss an episode here or there, or if I wanted to have a guest on, I'd just have the guest without Wonder, because I didn't really have the setup to facilitate him and the guest to be able to interact if he was here in person.
Yeah.
And never had done like the Discord call type thing at that point. So like whenever there was a guest on, like a Sasquatch or Judo, some of the early guests, Wonder would be gone. But I mean, he's been there for basically the entire thing. I know there was that half a year or full year run where he left again, but that was mostly just because his schedule got really weird. And it was easier for me to just try to run it with guests most of the time.
Definitely.
Then his schedule balanced back out. So I was like, screw it. Let's just go back to what this was.
Hell yeah. Let's say, yeah, because like knowing Wonder that I like how I do now.
Yeah.
Comparative to how I knew him not so well originally, he didn't never really seem like that big of a that big of a tech guy. He always seemed like I'd much rather be outside doing something else. But like spending the 15 months that we had together in Caldori, and then of course the several times that the three of us have gamed, I've gotten to know Wonder pretty well. And I don't know, man. You two put on a good show.
I appreciate that.
You two put on a good show. Maybe Ooh. We could have an actual collaboration, because I know we did like that little mini one where you were here and we did the Scuffed Ass X E-cast or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future we could actually have like the three of us sit down and
small
talk about some bullshit.
With the Scuffed Ass.
Yes. The small scuff talks.
Small scuff talks. That's pretty scuffed.
And then we can hit Wonder with the top 5.
I don't remember any of my answers.
Oh, don't worry. Time. Oh, don't worry. We'll get to that.
Good. They're going to be either so different or somehow exactly the same, and either way, it's not going to be important.
I think it's going to be 50-50.
Okay.
Because, I literally listened to our episode so I could get the top 5 answers, right before we hopped on here. So, nice. I have all of them, except for the last one, which is the, if you had one thing to say to the world, what would you say? I didn't write that one down. Obviously. But, I mean,
I don't know if that one will be the same.
Everybody kind of has the same-ish answer anyway. I feel like you could sum up that question with just one simple, don't be an asshole, that's...
I think I'm going to try to just hit it with a single sentence this time instead of a paragraph like I did last time.
Okay. Well, we shall see. Tell me about Run the North.
Run the North. That is a sports podcast I host along with Jake Talk Sports and Miller Football. Most of the time we're just talking football. That is basically the only sport Miller truly cares about.
Mm-hmm.
Though me and Jake like to work in a little basketball and a little baseball every once in a while. I slide a little wrestling in there when I can. Not a lot, but I try. Neither of them care.
I was going to say, because neither of them care in the slightest, right?
100%. And then Jake does the same thing with hockey, because neither me or Miller care.
Oh,
so
okay.
He tries to slide in some hockey, and you can tell the minute he starts talking about it, me and Miller both kind of zone out. We're just waiting for him to stop yapping at that point.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't like having Scuffed As be the place where I talked about sports, and I didn't even really like that being the majority of my streams.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted an outlet to talk about sports where everywhere else I could. I still bring up sports on Scuffed As, and I still talk some sports on stream, but definitely not as much. That's just because there's an outlet now. If you want to hear my opinion on whatever thing you want to know, I probably talked about it on the 2 hours of the sports show that week. And if I didn't, my opinion isn't one that's going to matter because I don't care enough. If it wasn't something we brought up on that show, I probably didn't care enough to have a real opinion on it.
For sure.
So it was mostly that. I had met Miller and Jake both on TikTok, just making sports content. Had done like scuffed as episodes with both of them and reached out and was like, hey, I want to do like a 3-man sports show. Do it every week, talk about ball and anything else really, because we get off topic a lot. I am very ADHD. So it just happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just an outlet to talk about sports and be able to leave everything else as something else. So I didn't want to feel like I was stuck being one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a spot where I could be stuck being one thing, but it wouldn't be the thing that people knew me for.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough, man. And obviously Run the North's going somewhat successful considering you guys are on episode 65. And
yeah.
As I said earlier, probably about to be episode 66, I assume at some point this week.
Yep. Hopefully. We haven't recorded yet.
Well, it's only Tuesday, so you got a few more days.
True.
But, you know, respectfully so, I haven't given Run the North as much attention as I have the Scuffed As or Dueling Fates. Only because I am a football guy. I do love football. I played it in high school. I can't keep up with it. Like it's too much. Yeah. And like no one and it's so crazy because like football and wrestling are like two completely different worlds. I can't keep up with football, but if you give me 15 minutes to talk to you about wrestling, like I'll name off motherfuckers' names that haven't wrestled in 15 years.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me in my dumb head that, you know, my dumb brain.
I think it's just the love you have for it. Wrestling was always a huge, huge part of your life, and you can like football, but it may never have gotten the same. It never found the same place to you that wrestling did, and that's perfectly okay. Yeah. That's why I wanted that to have its own dedicated space, is so I could be able to talk about that, but not. Well, most of the people who watch my streams and videos aren't huge football nerds. They don't want to hear that from me all the time.
Right.
So now there's an outlet for that. And if that's what you want to hear, there's a bunch of content, especially now that I'm posting a trivia video on there every day. You want to hear me rattle off random names? You get to.
That is crazy.
What you know about Kalechi Osemele, Eero? What you know about Kalechi?
I don't even think that's a real name. But somehow, with it being a football player, I don't doubt it. I watched that Key and Peele sketch.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever bring up random sports just for the fuck of it? Like, nah. Is there ever been a 5-minute rugby discussion on Run the North?
I think there actually have been a couple of times just for giggles, or you like see something. Like I think this week we'll probably end up talking about cricket for like a few minutes.
Okay.
Because of the weird U.S. winning a cricket match for some reason.
Oh, that is weird.
The U.S. beat the number 6 cricket team in the world. Our cricket team has 0 professional cricket players on it. Which I think is just the most magical thing. America didn't even know what the sport was, and we still rolled up and kicked your ass. I think that's hilarious.
They must have sent out all the third stringers or something.
Something, man. I don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So when you guys announced that, and obviously like Jake Talk is back.
Yeah.
Because he left there for 2 seconons, and now he's back.
Yeah, I think so.
Has that formally been announced?
He said he's back, but with his schedule, we'll just have to see how that holds up.
But I mean, I guess this will be getting uploaded the following week of what we're at now.
Yeah.
So if it hasn't been announced yet, I'm sure it probably will be.
Oh, it's been announced. He was back on last week's episode.
Okay.
So he's back, at least for now. And we'll see, hopefully, if it stays that way. And if not, we totally understand. I mean, life's a bitch, dude. So I
Oh
get
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. No, I had debated on several times texting you, telling you that I want to be on Run the North. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna have you give me what you guys are gonna talk about, and I'm just gonna do a massive amount of notes.
That would be funny.
Go in there. Miller's gonna be like, "Why is Ero on here? He doesn't know sports." And then I'm gonna be like, "Well, you see."
Well, you see, keep the notebook just off screen, off camera. You know, it's like right here. You're just like glancing
Yeah,
over at it, like, oh,
exactly. Either
DMing me
that,
in the middle of the podcast, like, oh god, I don't know what's happening. We derailed. Help.
say either that, or I figured at some point Miller and Jake won't be available to do an episode, and you and I can just get on and yell at each other about wrestling.
That's valid. I'm always down to do a random wrestling episode. That'd be fun. It'd throw a wrench in everybody's plans, which
Right?
would be funny. I'll bring up football for like 10 seconds at the beginning and then start screaming about Finn Balor. Why the fuck did he eat the pin last night? That makes... Rey Mysterio was literally right there. Why is Finn eating the pin, you bastards?
Yeah, a lot of people are pissed that him and Jay were also in that triple threat together.
Because now it just tells us who's winning Money in the Bank. The only theory was it was Finn or Jay.
Yeah.
You wanted them both in the ladder match. Also,
well,
an off-the-ladder coup de grace.
Yeah. Well, and then they put Jay on the poster.
Yeah.
And instead of money, it says Yeet on the briefcase, because, of course. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It's just like, that was a dumb qualifier. That needed to be two guys who were in it. Because then at least there would be some semblance of a shocking outcome that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a toss-up. Now it's just Jay, which I think is really dumb. Not because I don't like Jay. He's literally main event Jey Uso. You can put him in a title match at any time, and nobody would go, why is he here?
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's kind of built in at this point that he just gets to be in that picture, which is okay. So is Drew, so is Seth Rollins. There are just guys where it's like, oh, they're in a feud for a title. Cool. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, like, oh, surprising.
Yeah, right. Like a guy like Finn who's not given those opportunities, it matters. Or go, another one I've said a lot is like Carmelo Hayes. Give it to Melo, who is just a young guy trying to get into that picture. Or like Damian Priest last year. Give it to a guy who's not in that picture and make them be a part of that picture now.
Right.
I think it's weird to give it to Jay or to give it to, I don't know, Seth Rollins wants to be in the Money in the Bank match, even though now he has a title match at Money in the Bank.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that was the original gimmick, and then Priest came out, and then he was like, no, man, I'll just give you a title shot. And it's like, oh.
Which makes sense, because Seth never got his rematch, so that's fair.
Well, and Priest wanted to be the one to take the title off of him, but then Drew beat Seth, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
But hopefully this just means we're setting up. It's going to piss me off so much. Because I think this is just going to set up Finn and Damian at SummerSlam, which I'm so here for. Because they're already, sowing the seeds of Finn's betrayal.
Oh, yeah.
As they should. I love that they're going to go the route of just making Finn go even farther down the heel path, because he's such a good heel.
One of the best. And
Damian works fine as a babyface. He really does. It's weird because he doesn't look like the typical babyface, but I also think that's part of the charm.
Agreed. Yeah.
But I love the way they're setting that up. But I 100% feel like if Finn gets cashed in on at SummerSlam and gets another half a second title run. That's how I envision it, just because I know WWE and how much of little bastards they are.
Yeah. But no, I at some point, Run the North Wrestling Edition.
I'm down for it.
Awesome. And we got to talk about the third one. Your newest venture, going with 7 episodes. Episode 8 coming this following Monday.
Yes, sir.
Because you guys upload every Monday.
Yep.
I only know because I usually work Mondays, and you guys are playing in my ear while I'm delivering packages.
appreciate that.
Of course. But talk to us about Dueling Fates.
Okay, so I don't watch a ton of movies. I think we've talked about that, how like outside of Star Wars and Marvel, I really don't watch anything. So instead of, trying to do a movie podcast where you go see new movies and try to review everything as it comes out and keep up with the times, I had the idea of like, let's find somebody who has the time, who would want to like go back and watch old random movies and, just spend an hour every week. Don't record it that way, but spend an hour every week just talking about different random old movies. So, we started with Tombstone, went to Interstellar and Inception. And this is just kind of a cool way for me to go back and watch old movies and get to yap about some really dumb science that exists in some of these movies that really bugs me. It's wild.
Yeah.
We just did what movie?
The Day After Tomorrow.
The Day After Tomorrow. That one is so... None of it works. None of it. None of it's real. It drives me insane.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, I guess you heard that. Apparently it drove Grayson more insane, but that's okay.
It's funny because when I saw the title of that episode, I sat there and I looked at my phone and I was just like, that Day After Tomorrow? Like the one with the posters, the Statue of Liberty coming out of like the frozen tundra?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I think I saw that movie twice in my entire lifetime, and neither of which were in a theater, by the way. My mother loves those kind of movies, and I have no idea why. It's dumb. Like, cool. Like what you like, but like...
I loved it as a middle schooler, which is why we went back and watched it. Is like, I loved this movie back then, so let's just rewatch it. That might have been a mistake. That might have been a waste of a couple hours.
So I think I know the answer.
Ooh. Okay.
But I wanted to ask, out of the 7 you've done so far, what's your favorite one that you've reviewed so far?
Favorite movie or like favorite episode?
I'll go movie.
Favorite movie is Interstellar.
I thought so. Okay.
Yeah. That movie's so good. And it does the thing where it gets the science correct, which just tickles a nice part of my brain. It makes me very happy.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something you're not going to like about me?
You don't like Interstellar?
I've never seen it.
You need to. It's such a good movie.
I know. It trust me, it's on the list.
Yeah.
Like, but you know that list is...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
No, it like I've never had a reason not to watch it. Actually, I think it's on one of the things that we have. But I've just never sat down and been like, "Ooh, Interstellar."
Right.
Like, because, they finally put Godzilla -1 on Netflix. So, had to watch that. And then, House of the Dragons, new season just started. Acolytes started. The Boys has started. The Bear's starting, I think, next week. Like, we're getting so many shows and so many good movies. And, like, I keep seeing all these trailers for horror movies coming out that I really want to go see. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess.
I'm going to have you go over some horror movies with me so I can pick some out for October.
I
also think down. We have a plan for you, but we're not there yet. So
okay.
But yeah, you want to know what I've seen for horror movies?
Shoot.
The 2004 Grudge movie. That one fucked me up because I was a little kid, dude.
I mean, dude, The Grudge is
such
creepy,
a good movie.
dude. The Grudge is creepy.
It fucked me up for a long time.
Here's the thing, though. The Grudge has got nothing on Ju-on, which is what The Grudge got its inspiration from. Watch that, you'll want to sleep with the light on for a fucking week, I promise. Like, I don't know what it is.
Why do you think I sleep during the day, dog? The sun's out. Nothing bad can happen when the sun's out.
I'm trying to think. How do I want to put this? The Oriental filmmakers, Japanese, Chinese, Asian, they know how to make some creepy shit.
Yeah.
Like, because also, like, that's where The Ring came from.
Yeah.
and all that. Like, whoo, make some crazy shit.
Then I've got Jeepers Creepers.
Classic.
Just the first one.
I mean, honestly, that's all you really need. Like,
Fair.
I don't know how many they made, but like it's classic slasher trope. They just go down.
Yep. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Also, I think only the first one.
They're all the same.
Yeah, I figured. I think that's about it.
Whoo, that's rough, dog.
Oh no, there's one other one. Oh crap. What is that movie? I don't really know if I consider it a horror movie. Apparently, one movie that we just watched is also considered a horror movie. I guess, spoiler alert for, I guess both The Menu and Split kind of get called as horror movies, but I don't.
I think The Menu is definitely considered horror. I think Split is suspense thriller, technically.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of get where they're coming from with Split, because it's like a supernatural-ish horror, even though that's not supernatural at all. Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
But like, no Michael, no Jason, no Fred, no Chuck, no Saw.
Oh, I've seen a couple Saw movies.
Okay.
Well, maybe like parts of Saw movies. I don't know if I've ever.
Well, let's be real. Saw is not really a horror movie anymore. It's more just
gore for the sake of gore.
Yeah, it's more so just, a gore.
And I definitely watched
explosion.
one of the Final Destination movies. Couldn't tell you which one.
Was it the one with the logs going off the back of the truck? 2.
The second one. I've seen the second one. Because every time I go to Washington to visit family and I'm behind a log truck, I pull over.
Yep.
And let him get the fuck out of the
So
do way.
You and the rest of every single person that's seen that damn movie. I still can't do it to this day.
And I've seen one other one. It's The Devil's Rejects.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
Is the other one. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's it. That's my horror movie knowledge.
I mean, I would honestly tell you any other Rob Zombie flick, because most of the ones that he does is all horror. House of a Thousand Corpses, 3. I'm forgetting the name of that other one. And then obviously he redid Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah.
1 is a lot better than 2. My personal opinion. I don't know, but then if you want to get out of the slasher discussion, I mean, you could talk Hereditary, Midsummer, Get Out. Jordan Peele is a phenomenal horror director.
Yeah.
I mean, Nope is kind of a horror movie, I think. I don't know. It kind of, that one's a weird one for me.
What gets classified as horror has always confused me, because it's like, why are just gory murder movies considered horror? That just feels like a murder movie. I don't know.
It's funny that you bring this up, because me and Duck literally had a discussion earlier today about the the subgenre between horror and slasher, and how I feel like they're not the same, but like technically they are, and it's like, no, they feel completely different.
Right.
Like I don't get jump scared going to a Saw movie. I get jump scared going to watch Hereditary, and the bitch is on the fucking corner,
right?
And like the camera zooms out, and all you see is her in the corner. Like,
right.
That shit's spooky.
Like, I don't get freaked out because I just watched people get cut to bits. Whatever. Yeah. I watched Game of Thrones too. Like, but I do get freaked out watching The Grudge. Like, that shit's freaky.
Yeah, it's because
it's very different.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like, and to me, it's like, if it's not genuinely scary, and I don't just mean scary because, man, imagine if I lost all my limbs that way. That's terrifying.
Right.
But like genuine horror. That's normally what I more care for. I'm not just a huge, stabby guy. If I'm doing that, I want to watch Star Wars or something high fantasy.
Or Game of Thrones, like you just said.
Yeah.
No, I think once you guys start getting into the horror discussion, it sucks to think that you're only going to have 4 episodes of horror if we stay to the month of October.
We're staying to the month of October, but I think we're planning 5. Halloween special.
I really think Hereditary needs to be in there. I can only imagine Duck will agree.
Okay.
Hereditary is probably one of the best horror movies I've seen in the past decade. I love that movie to pieces, and like it is so fucked up. Just for the sake of respect, I would say the original John Carpenter's Halloween. Just out of pure respect for John Carpenter, Michael Myers, that entire series, I would say only do the first one. Like you can do all of them, but there's like 9, so get ready.
Right. Yeah. Once Halloween comes around, once the horror month comes around, we'll have just come off watching only Star Wars movies for a while.
Oh.
So,
yeah,
I don't think we want to start another thing like that.
Right.
I just can't wait to get into Marvel.
That was going to be my next question, actually. Still talking about Dueling Fates, of course. Obviously, you guys just did The Day After Tomorrow. Like it's funny because Grayson, every single episode, your favorite movie podcast that's not about Harry Potter, that's not about Star Wars. When are those going to happen, man?
Harry Potter, I don't know if it ever will.
Okay.
I want it to. I love those movies. I love those books. But J.K. Rowling's existence is a problem. That sounds really bad, but it's just a thing where when you talk about that...
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yep, and when you talk about those movies and those books, people think you're condoning what she stands for, and obviously I don't.
Yeah.
I've made that perfectly clear, but it's the same reason I didn't play Hogwarts Legacy anywhere on the internet. It's... Dude, I'm sorry. The Harry Potter world has always been something I loved, and I think I don't know. As much as J.K. Rowling is horrible, I don't know. That's a universe of characters that's mattered to me a lot in my life, so I don't know if I really can get rid of them, but I can also choose not to prop them up again on the internet. So that's fair. Haven't made a decision about that. Star Wars, though, is happening. It's the summer of Star Wars, I guess. So that's coming up soon. I think we have one more non-Star Wars episode to record. And then I think the first Star Wars episode comes out like the end of July.
Okay.
I think.
So are you like, and obviously you don't have to indulge me, but I'm just curious. Are you doing canonically in order, or are you doing in release order?
I prefer canonically. I prefer that. That's what I recommend to people when they say they want to watch Star Wars. Well, a lot of people say release order. Who cares? The argument is, well, you don't get the twist about Vader and Luke. Dog, that has been spoiled for 50 years. That's not a twist anymore. I don't know what to tell you. And it's a better story if you watch it chronologically.
Well, and I mean, I think, no, Luke, I am your father. Yeah. I think that's got to be like the most quoted movie quote in history.
Yeah.
Maybe next to like, say hello to my little friend, or, one doesn't simply just walk to Mordor, or, something to that extent. But like, I think that Vader line is the most
100%.
Yeah. So like, people know.
Yeah. So like, just watch it in chronological. That way it's a better story.
Are you adding in all the side movies? You watching like Rogue One, Solo, or is it just the main 9?
For sure, Rogue One. I don't remember if we were going to do Solo or not. Okay. We had talked about it a little bit, but because Solo's just such a weird spot. I love Solo.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly what Star Wars is supposed to be. Stupid, campy humor that just... None of it makes a ton of sense, but it's not supposed to. We're in a world of fucking space wizards. Like, what do you want?
No, I went and saw Solo in theaters, man. I had a hell of a time with it. I thought it was great.
I didn't see it in theaters, but that was a weird time.
I had a running thing with myself because obviously I didn't see any of the original 3 in theaters.
Right.
Clearly.
Me either.
I don't remember if I saw Phantom Menace in the theaters. I feel like I did. I know I saw Attack of the Clones, and I know I saw Revenge of the Sith. And then when the new 3 came out, I saw all 3 of those in the theaters. And I made a promise to myself when The Force Awakens came out, I don't care what Star Wars movie it is, I will be seeing it in theaters. And so Rogue One, Solo, and then whatever we're going to get in the future.
I also didn't watch Rogue One in theaters.
That movie, I think the theater did it better justice than any home TV ever could. The scene where she goes through the other ship and it's that black and white still image for like 5 seconds in the theater, that was breathtaking.
Yeah.
Like,
no, yeah. I love Star Wars, man. I'm so happy we're finally gonna get to yap about it for a while. I can't wait to. The first movie, I don't know if there's that much for me to really yap about. Phantom Menace is such a weird movie.
It is.
Both episodes 1 and 2 have this same flaw where they are kind of boring for most of the movie. If you don't care about the universe in that way, like most of episode 2 is just fucking Senate meetings. Like,
yeah.
Who cares? I do because I'm a fucking nerd.
Right.
It's in the name, you know, but like, yeah. I went and put on one of his shirts. Yeah. No. Laser swords.
Laser swords.
Copyright protection.
Sorry. Laser swords.
Yeah. Fucking dumb. Yeah. I'm very excited for all that. I've been really enjoying it. And Grayson is a shockingly cool podcast co-host.
That was going to be my next question, actually, is like, the several times that I've dealt with the duck, 70% of that time I want to choke him until he's purple. I don't know how you sit with him every week and talk about these movies.
Well, I think a lot of that is just... do I break kayfabe here or not is the question.
I'm going to say, does he put it on?
100%. That is... I mean, he is kind of stupid. But like... The duck that exists on Twitter and the one that you get when we're watching wrestling... That's not entirely who Grayson is. And I feel like you can kind of tell watching Dueling Fates. He dials it back. There are still moments. But we need those moments. If I don't yell at him at least once an episode, it's a bad episode.
I think I counted 4 times at the last episode.
Nice. Gotta keep count. That should be a game. Take a shot every time Geek yells at Grayson.
Oh my god, I'd be plastered.
Yeah.
Especially, like, going back to our old, like, wrestling watch-alongs that we used to do.
Don't go back there. That's a dark time. That would be a dark time.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, those were the days.
Speaking of Star Wars.
Uh-oh.
Did you see the limited edition Oreos they came out with?
Yes, I did see those.
I got 4 boxes of them just to make sure I got one of each.
God.
They were like $3 on Amazon, though, so it's okay.
You fucking madman.
Because remember, living in the middle of nowhere, it's cheaper to order your groceries on Amazon than it is to go to a grocery store.
So, like, what's the gimmick with them? Are they just red and blue? Like, is there nothing, like, special about them?
Each pack, so the actual cookie has, like, dark side and light side people printed on them. So, like, there's a Vader mask and whatever.
I remember they did that with the Game of Thrones ones, too.
Like this package, I don't know what color they are, but they only have, like, this might only be red cookies, like red cream.
Oh.
And so that's why I ordered so many, is to make sure I got a red pack and a blue pack.
Gotcha.
And I think, you know how with Oreos, you can, like, kind of crack them open without cracking the whole seal? So, like, if you were at Walmart, you could check and then put them back, and nobody's the wiser. That's just not legal advice. Apparently these ones are blue.
There you go.
I have 3 other packs over there waiting to figure it out.
I was kind of hoping
you're
that
gonna love the TikTok I post tonight when I watch the Acolyte.
Oh no!
You're gonna see how much of a goddamn nerd I can be.
I'm gonna hope that. I was hoping that because I knew they were coming out with those. I was hoping that like the red would be like a different flavor than the blue, like that maybe for once they would actually change up the flavor of the Oreo cookie. But
they might have. So they say something. I don't know if they say it on the package, but maybe.
But of course, I would want the red to be cherry because I'm a big cherry guy.
So they're not flavored, but it's red and blue cream with Kyber-inspired sugar crystals. I'm kind of terrified that they're going to be like the Pop Rock ones.
It's probably the Pop Rocks.
I really hope it's not. I hope it's just actually like a weird sugar crystal thing. The Pop Rocks were weird. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it's just that, but I don't know.
Yeah. Jesus.
Oreos.
So that's all 3 of your endeavors with podcasts.
Yep.
You're a crazy man.
Only a little.
Now I want to get into, you've got multiple YouTube channels too. I only dug the subscriber count off of your main account, but I did see your video the other day. So what's the deal? Are you on all the other accounts, or?
So the only other account that really exists right now, so I have like the TheGeekSlays VODs channel where I upload some of my Twitch VODs. That one's not going away. That's just an archive for me, basically, to
right. I'll be honest, I didn't count that one.
Yeah. And then that's realistically, that's like it. Obviously, I upload every day on Run the North, just a regular YouTube video outside of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that I started was the Geeks Kitchen channel, which was only going to be cooking content. But like I said in that video on Saturday, when I made that channel, it was when I had worked out the idea that I'm going to upload on the main channel 3 times a week and 1 sports video on Run the North every week, and then I'd do a cooking video.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometime after I made that my plan, I started daily uploading on my main channel and then daily uploading on Run the North also. And it's suddenly like, I don't know where I'm going to have the time to make these cooking videos.
Right.
And like, I still want to sometimes, but I don't want to be held to this thing of like, I need to do one every week.
Mm-hmm.
And then make it where I hate making cooking content and never do it again. Like, that's not a cool idea. Plus, now, it was entirely an experiment, and I said that when I launched it. I still love the logo, and like, I've renamed just the playlist that all the cooking videos are on my main channel, just Geeks Kitchen. I think that's just going to be the brand for when I do any sort of cooking videos. This is just a Geeks Kitchen video and whatever. You know, give it its own little branding spin. But yeah, it was an experiment to see if doing, only gaming content on the main channel and only sports content on Run the North and only cooking on its own thing, if that would make a difference. And it absolutely does not. I think that idea that you need to entirely focus your entire channel on a specific niche isn't correct. I think the way YouTube works now, with the way the algorithm works, is if it's a good video, it'll get views. Mm-hmm. If it's not, it won't. Or, going along with that, it doesn't even technically matter if it's a good video. If you got a good title and thumbnail, you'll get views.
Yeah.
Which, that's the part I'm kind of awful at, so that's rough. But when I get a good one cooked up, shit goes hard.
For sure.
But, yeah, so yeah, cooking stuff will be back on the main channel whenever I do it. Which I don't know when the next time I cook anything will be.
For sure. I will say, it took a lot for me not to text you after I watched that video. Because I know that your whole gimmick with that video is like that you failed, like all this other shit. Like, right. I got to be honest with you. I don't think you did. What I think, and obviously take my opinion for what you know,
Yeah.
and same with my loyal listeners and the viewers. I think you ran yourself too far.
Yeah.
You are without a doubt one of the most dedicated motherfuckers I have ever met in my life when it comes to YouTube, Twitch, sometimes TikTok.
God, TikTok's such a fucking place, man.
Yeah, tell me about it. But you're so unbelievably dedicated, and it shows in your content. It does. So it took a lot for me not to text you and be like, shut the fuck up, man. You didn't fail. You ran yourself too far. Yeah. Because while in here, you think you're this big android that can just boom, 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 boom out content like you're Rambo with a machine gun.
Yeah.
You're human, brother.
Yeah.
You're human, and that's fine.
Yeah. Well, so to be fair, the entire I failed part was just the gimmick. I was clickbaiting the fuck out of it. That was the entire goal.
I knew that too. That's why that's the main reason I didn't text
you know me. I like to play the game. Yeah. But to me, it was in a way what I had planned. I did fail at, but I also only in a way, because I did say in the first video talking about Geeks Kitchen that was just a test run to see how the future would go and whether that made sense or not. And so, I mean, in reality, it's just a test that, we took what we needed to learn from that and we moved on. But yeah, got to play it up for the views.
Well, of course. That's half the job.
Yeah, right. I love it. I love my most viewed video of all time from a month ago. Wild that happened, but it was just a video talking about Black Ops 3. And just titling it Black Ops 3 is officially dead just pumped that video to the moon. It was insane. Yeah. And I love the people who don't actually watch the video and just immediately want to comment. It's not dead. I was just playing it today. It's man, if you would just watch the first 30 seconds of this video, you'd get what my point was.
Right.
Because by definition, that title isn't a lie. That's the trick you got to do with your clickbait, is you got to make it not a lie, but you got to stretch it really close to that line. That's the goal.
Right.
Bro's getting random texts mid session.
Indeed. So, talking about Geeks Kitchen though.
Yeah.
What is what do you think your favorite thing you made off of there was? Because I don't remember how many videos you had on there. I didn't feel like it was a ton. I feel like it was 20.
So I think it so it was mostly just re-uploads of old cooking content to start.
Right.
46 apparently.
I was half right.
Yeah.
Ish.
The favorite thing I've made.
So yeah.
Okay. I think. God, that's tough. A lot. I
know it would be. I know
weird
it would be
stuff. So the tavern stew from the D&D cookbook. I mean, that kind of just changed the way I make stew all the time now. So I mean, that's up there.
That one did look really good, but also I've been trying to get my hands on that damn cookbook for a while.
Valid. All of the Chinese food I made a couple of weeks ago. Well, it might have been a couple months ago at this point. Time is a construct. All of that Chinese food stuff was really good. I mean, the breakfast burger I made but it never got to be one of my own videos, and I plan to change that this summer. But
yeah,
I think the best cooking video I've ever done and the best thing I've ever made from it was the Geeking Out burgers.
I can confirm. It's a
solid really burger, man. Good, man.
It's a solid ass burger.
I forgot I made you one.
Yeah.
I forgot I did that.
Hell yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Made it right there in my fucking kitchen.
Yep. And out on your Blackstone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you got to do the patties on the Blackstone. That's where they go.
I just made smash burgers for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And I swear, like, I could half-ass cook all of those cheeseburgers, like, off of that Blackstone. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Off of that Blackstone, it don't matter.
Yep. It's a great time.
For sure.
I will say another thing from the cooking videos that I do absolutely love, though, was the bento boxes you made during that same trip for the cook-off. I finally went, and I do my best not to watch my own videos. I know that sounds really weird, but once I edit them, I don't watch them.
No, I get it.
And I kind of left the entire bit of Sizzlin' and Beehive deliberating and didn't really edit it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd never listened to it. So I went the other day, and apparently, like, I know they told us it was close, but listening to them talk, like, apparently it was just my presentation that got me the swing, which I find, which makes sense to me, because we both did the thing where we tried each other's food and went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't expect you to come out swinging with fried chicken. Like, I hadn't even ever heard of that before you made it. Like, chicken fried steak or country fried steak. Like, yeah, I've had that. But, like, that's crazy.
Dude, fried chicken's just better. I don't know.
It's good.
It's
good.
Is.
It's really fucking good.
Good times.
But, like, it's crazy because, like, if we did that video today, I wouldn't even touch a bento box.
Right.
I wouldn't. I'd probably stay as far away from that as possible. Honestly, I haven't ate tofu since that day. Like,
that ruined tofu for you?
Well, no.
We went to let me down.
We went to the store, bought some tofu. It went bad way quicker than it should have. And let me tell you, top 4 worst smells: rotten tofu.
I bet.
Woo! No, I have no idea what I would make if we did that video tomorrow, but I know it wouldn't be a bento box.
I don't either. I kind of want to start that as a whole series now. Like, do almost a Beat Bobby Flay style, just geek versus. So, like, you come up with the thing you want to cook, and we just both make that thing and see if I can outdo you. I think that would be really interesting.
That would be.
I'm not saying I'm as good a chef as Bobby Flay, though maybe, because I have very little respect for Bobby Flay as a being. So I'm not saying I'm Gordon Ramsay. I'm just saying I might be better than Bobby Flay. There's levels to this shit.
Well, I was going to say, like, beating Bobby Flay and beating Gordon Ramsay is 2 very different things.
Right.
Bobby Flay, I feel like, isn't as popular as he was back in, like, 2005.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
But I think he was always weird because he was popular just because of cooking shows and not really because, like, Gordon is a Michelin star chef multiple times. Like, he's just that guy. Yes. Bobby Flay just, like, did MasterChef. Like, they honestly, are not the same.
Honestly, the guy I always wanted to, like, have in one of those types of shows was Emeril Lagasse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, like, I grew up watching Emeril because he was on always every Monday right before Raw.
Yeah.
And, like, I'd always catch, like, the last, like, 45 minutes of his show, and his food always looked so phenomenal, and, like, he always just did such little effort, it felt like.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you know, bam! Love that shit.
Raw. So, yeah, if next time I make it out your way, don't know when that'll be.
Yeah.
The luck of that year being able to happen, I think, is wild.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when you're getting another week off at a specific time where I have the money to just show up.
I was going to say, like that week worked out so beautifully for everything that happened.
Yeah.
Like, you coming here, you just getting back from TwitchCon, like,
yeah.
The whole nine,
having
man.
It fall on your birthday somehow, that was cool,
yeah,
too.
Literally.
Like, as much as, like, we tried to plan it after, like, everything had happened, we didn't plan most of it. It was just like, now suddenly I'm off work for this week for sure. And I was like, oh, okay, let's do a thing then.
Yeah, well, because I knew that I could get that week off
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, anything after that would have been difficult because getting close to November, at the time I worked at Target.
Yeah.
So, like, Black Friday is obviously a fucking thing. But obviously, now, with the job I do now, it would be a little bit more difficult because I don't accumulate as much PTO as I once did.
Right.
But, I mean, at that same venture, I am only working 4 days out of the week now. But granted, it's 10 to 12-hour days.
Right.
But take that for what you will.
Yeah. One day it'll happen again. I still remember Brackle's parents being kind of afraid that I was going to murder you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I still find that, which I totally get. We spent our entire lives growing up being told not to meet the people that you talk to on the internet.
Don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to weird people on the internet. Definitely don't go meet those weird people on the internet.
Yeah.
Don't have them sleep in the room adjacent to your room after a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
Have them stay for a week, cook in your house, film content.
Yeah. I'm just so happy I didn't end up using anything that would kill Brackle, because I know her allergy to onions and stuff.
Yep.
I've never realized how much of a pain in the ass it is to find stuff that doesn't have onions or onion powder in it.
Tell me about it. No,
that was an insane experience.
Her favorite thing on the planet is jalapeno chips. That is her favorite thing on the planet, and she can't have them. There's
what if you just make some?
We have.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We absolutely have. We've thinly cut some potatoes, dried them out, fried them. I had this jalapeno garlic blend that I got from Kroger or Walmart or something, and threw it on top. They were good, but they weren't the same.
Fair.
But
Fair.
it's hard to imitate those kind of manufactured things, because obviously
manufactured flavors. Yeah,
because they don't ever taste the same.
No,
it's difficult. It's difficult as hell.
Yeah, that it is.
I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Alrighty. I think
it's not me anymore. I quit smoking, so can't be me.
Well, that is a plus. That is a plus. Although I'll still want to go outside and go hang out on my patio, because those were fun.
Oh, for sure. Hey, if I've said it before, I didn't quit smoking for some weird I'm trying to get healthy or whatever type reason. I was just poor. If I get ninja rich, I'll probably smoke again. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
So don't let me get ninja rich, I guess. Keep me down a little. Keep me at Tim the Tatman levels.
Oh God. I don't know, man. That still might be pretty bad. But if you do, give your boy a loan, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I could go down a couple days a week and work.
There you go.
All right, Geek. I think we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna go to everybody's favorite segment, the Big Guy's Top 5. Play the thing.
The Big Guy's Top 5. Oh, yeah.
If that worked correctly, there should be a thing playing. If not, whoops. I know it'll be edited correctly because I actually edit these episodes.
Wow.
I have a thing for the top 5, and it's hysterical. That's made dope. It back in 2018. Actually, nice. No, probably 20. Well, actually, yeah, 2018 might be right. I don't know. I made it forever ago. It's dumb as shit, but I love it.
Valid.
So obviously, I can't hit you with the traditional Big Guy's Top 5 because you have already been on this show once. So, what I would like to do with you, sir, is go over your previous answers and see just simply if they've changed.
Mm-hmm.
So, question number 1, favorite ice cream. Your original answer... Actually, let me rephrase. Your original answers...
Ah, yes, I did go... Was I the first one that was an asshole and went multiple flavors?
Yes.
I think I might have been.
Yes, you were. Which is fine. And this is a disclaimer for all future guests, listeners, watchers, and Artie the Gamer. I never once said that you could only have one flavor.
That's
if
true.
you want multiple, give me multiple, bro. I love lists. Let me tell you, I fucking love lists.
Right?
Ben and Jerry's Coffee Heath Crunch.
Yeah. Still have not found a thing of it since then.
I don't doubt that. Ben and Jerry, man, they have this thing where they come out with really banger flavors and they just get rid of them for no reason.
See, it wasn't just a thing they came out with. It was like a staple for years.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a short run. I don't know where it went, but hopefully it comes back someday.
Yo, Ben and Jerry's. First of all, I'd love to have you on the show. Secondly, bring it back, man. What are we doing?
Oh, apparently it's just no longer Heath Bar. I still haven't found it at a store, but they do just make coffee toffee bar crunch.
Oh.
Apparently
okay.
They lost their Heath Bar collab. That's
unfortunate. Heath is kind of a sneaky candy bar, man.
Yeah, it really is.
But do you know what your second answer was?
Mint Chalky Chip.
Mint Chalky Chip.
Mint Chalky Chip.
With an astounding 8 votes over everything else basically having like 1 or 2. Mint Chocolate Chip is the current runner in the lead, flying by in the Big Guy's top 5 favorite ice cream.
I've always found Mint Chocolate Chip really weird, as much as I love it, because I don't really like mint things. But there's something about mint ice cream. It just
it hits different.
It's like refreshing. I don't.
Yeah. See,
damn
near
I love
refreshing.
I'm sorry. He gets it.
Shouts out to Stefan, man. Hey, I'd love to have you on the show.
True. That'd be sick.
No, man, but I love mint. Like the little spearmints, the little peppermints. Like I'll just buy a bag and just snack on them. Like they're like it's like an anxiety snack for me. Like I just dig mint. Yeah, so I get mint chocolate chip. Also, I just get like peppermint ice cream around Christmas time, especially with like the little bits of candy cane in them. Ooh,
I'm gonna see if I can hit you right in the old man feels.
Here we go.
We'll see if we have it. So for mint patties, like the little mint patty candies, most people are big York fans for whatever reason. There's a brand.
It's that dark chocolate with the mint. It's that dark chocolate, man.
There's a brand though that I haven't seen exist anywhere for a long time. I just found them on Amazon though. They changed the packaging and that offends me a little. It's called Pearson's mint patties. They had like the green labeled mint patties. They were almost like a York, but they had better chocolate. Haven't seen one since 2008. Not gonna lie.
Sounds super familiar, but I'm not sure.
I'm gonna see if I can find the wrapper for them, because that's the distinguishable part. I feel like. Yeah, here you go. Here's a picture. Let's shoot this over to your Discord, I think. That's just faster.
Discordy Dord.
Boom. Those guys.
Let's have a look. Oh, yeah.
Those are the only ones I've ever liked, because the chocolate's better. That's very picky when it comes to chocolate.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe York is made by Hershey.
And that's why I don't like it.
Well, I was going to say, Hershey is such a manufactured chocolate at this point that it almost doesn't even taste like chocolate.
What America has deemed as chocolate offends me, I think, is what I've learned. Because it's not chocolate, and it's really bad.
Right.
Especially, did you see the thing? Mr. Beast made the Feastable bars.
Yep,
I think I made a video of the original ones when they came out, eating them, and I was like, these are actually kind of gas. This is good chocolate. He changed the formula because all of his shitty American fans were mad that it didn't taste like shitty Hershey's bars.
Oh, God.
So he made it a shitty manufactured chocolate instead of a good chocolate. And and I get it. You got to do what's best for your business. I understand that. But also, like, God damn it, Americans suck.
See, I'll be honest. I never had one.
Fair.
But, I mean, I've always been very open about my dislike of Mr. Beast.
That's also fair.
And I just don't I don't support him. I just choose not to. So I don't know. I have seen several of his candy bars on the clearance rack, and I thought about picking one up then.
Right.
Because ironically enough, it was also a mint chocolate chip one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But would you change either of those ice creams? Geek?
I don't think so. Not even a little.
Okay. Next up, I asked for your favorite video game of all time.
Ooh.
And your favorite video game that you were currently playing.
Ooh.
I said you could do it in either order. You gave me of all time first. You gave me your GOAT of all time. And then you gave me your right now.
Okay.
I think you could probably guess all time pretty easily.
I no longer know if I can. I don't know what I said.
That's kind of crazy.
It could have been Black Ops 3, because I know I mentioned how that... I know I mentioned it. I always have to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else would have been on my list at that point in my life.
I will tell you, you only gave me one for all time.
Really? What the hell did I say? Was it Detroit Become Human?
No, you never even mentioned Detroit.
Wild. I feel like I would have. What the hell did I say?
Blops.
Oh, I did? Okay, it was just Black Ops 3.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I knew I mentioned it. I didn't know if I'd actually picked it. Because it holds, even though it might not be truly my favorite game to play, it holds such a special place just because of what it created for me.
Right.
That it's always there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I made a video talking about it a month ago.
Yeah, and I completely get that. I completely get that. I don't know if I necessarily would say I have a game like that, because, I don't know.
Right.
I changed up my games every other 2 seconds when I streamed. So, I didn't really have a game that blew me up like you did with Blops.
Right.
But what about those games right now? What do you... 2 years ago, what do you think you were playing?
2 years ago.
I'll give you a hint. One of them you still regularly play. The other, irregularly, I'll say. And then the other one is a story game.
What was I playing? Was it Assassin's Creed Valhalla? That feels right. And then it was, Fortnite or Valorant?
Fortnite.
Yeah.
Fortnite, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Fortnite has almost completely died for me. That's really tough. When you made it shitty Twisted Metal, I was out. Making it so the only way to play the game is to be in a car, which, as you've known since cars came out, I don't want to get in a car unless we have to.
Yeah, yeah.
That is not how I want to play this game. And now the only way to play is to get in a car? Yeah, I'm so out.
No, it's rough. It is rough, because I have played actually quite a bit this new season, because, I don't know, I wasn't a fan of last season with the whole, Mount Olympus, which is crazy because I love the Greek gods. But the Mad Max IP has always been something that I've really dug.
Yeah.
So when they brought that IP-ish to Fortnite, I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. Plus, I saw Magneto was the bonus skin you could get, so I kind of thought about it. But I don't know why they made him look like shit. And granted, I haven't seen it since they updated it and gave it the rest of the stuff in that little mini battle pass. So maybe he has an alternate skin that's more comic book accurate, but if they didn't, I'm not paying for it.
Right.
Not paying for it, and then I'm also not putting in the time to get it.
I get that.
But we do need a new Twisted Metal. But
yes.
Especially with the success of the show, man. Come on.
Right. I still haven't watched that.
Oh,
I know. I'm the worst.
Good. So good.
Dude, it took me I finished The Bad Batch last week.
I still haven't started that.
You really should. It's so good.
Yeah, I just crucify me, but The Bad Batch was the one thing from Clone Wars I didn't care about.
Which I find wild. The minute I saw them, I loved them. They were great.
Maybe I need to go back and watch them. I don't know. But I will watch it at some point, but
I feel like you just love Wrecker so much.
I mean, probably.
He's just the barbarian of the group, and you can tell, and it's
he's
wonderful.
The Golfrack.
But he's also like terrified of heights, which they make fun of a lot, and I love that also. It's so good.
But no, Anthony Mackie, super good, as we already know. The Captain America, gotta love him.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, as Sweet Tooth, which he's only the body of Sweet Tooth. He's not the voice. I'm not crazy about who plays the voice, and I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. He did Lego Batman.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't remember his damn name. It'll. You know what? I'm gonna look it up. But,
yeah, that's fair.
While I'm looking it up, would you change? I don't imagine that you'll change your of all time, but would you change any of those games?
The of all time, I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 is already up there, man. That game is so good. For no goddamn reason. It's so good.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
Is the voice of Sweet Tooth.
Who else does he voice? Lego Batman.
Hang on.
Why do I recognize his name?
Because he's in fucking everything, man. Will Arnett's kind of that guy.
Oh, I see who that is now.
Yeah,
he's BoJack Horseman, apparently.
Yes.
I don't know if he's BoJack or just in BoJack, but...
No, I think he is BoJack.
Okay, yeah. Weird.
No, but I'm so glad that I finally get to agree with you about Baldur's Gate.
Dude.
After watching your streams about it for so fucking long and watching, guys like Michael Bryan play it and everyone else that I watched play it. It's just I'm just so glad that I finally get to be a part of that discussion.
For sure. It's so good. And just the detail is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's ridiculous and I love it.
No, we could talk about Baldur's Gate for the rest of this fucking podcast, probably. It'd be very easy to do.
Yes.
So when I made Golfrack, I put like 80 hours into Golfrack from beginning to end. And I beat the game with him, and like I felt super accomplished. But like I'm going back now as a different character, and I'm realizing just how much shit I missed.
Yeah.
I didn't even touch the Underdark with Golfrack.
Wild.
So I missed the Forge. I didn't even fight Grim with Golfrack. I fought him with my new guy, Riker, who's a paladin. And let me tell you, I fucking whooped that trick. Let me tell you. Actually, I did that fight today.
Nice.
But like, it's just, there's so much shit I missed. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, it's on your first playthrough on stream. Oh, sorry. On your first playthrough, though, you immediately, like, first 2 hours in the game, found something I hadn't seen, and I'd beaten it 3 times at that point. I was like, what the fuck? How? Yeah. Remember
what did I find?
That weird spot with the spiders at, like, the very beginning near the grove.
Oh, where you go down the well.
No. You go, so, like, you leave the grove, you can head towards the, like, goblin camp and, like, the owl bear stuff.
Yeah,
one way. I didn't ever realize it was a thing you could do. You could jump up on this ledge and climb up to this thing. And up there was, like, a chest in this little hole that has a bunch of spiders and then, like, a little pouch of something in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that existed.
It's actually the first. It's actually like I think their first spot that you get to meet Raphael.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a spot you could meet him until way later.
Yeah, no, like that pouch is like spider eggs. If you can pass I think it's a dexterity check.
Yeah.
If you pass the check successfully, you get a pouch of like spider eggs and like 25 gold or something like that. And then if you throw the pouch of spider eggs, you get like 4 little baby spiders to like be your beat 'em up crew. It's fucking hysterical.
Gotta open Steam now because I just want to see how much. Maybe I don't want to see, but I want to see how much time I have in this game.
I looked earlier how much time I put in on PlayStation, and I'm sure you put in probably double what I've put in.
I am sitting at about 300 hours right now.
Okay. I think I saw earlier it said 185.
Yeah, okay.
Which is fucking wild.
I'm sitting at about 2,000 hours in Black Ops 3.
That's even more wild.
Yeah, dude. That's an insane amount of time.
I think I'm over 1,500 hours in in Overwatch.
Yeah.
On the PS4.
I can see that.
Yeah. No,
You're a big Overwatch animal.
Back in the day, anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
But
kind of before we met. You haven't
100%,
played a
100%.
ton since then.
Yeah, no, 100% before we met. Absolutely. It's actually how I got to know my wife, was Overwatch. But, so yeah, it'll always kind of hold a spot.
Of course.
Always kind of hold a spot. But especially now that they've made the second game free.
That'll do it.
But, so you think Baldur's Gate is definitely replacing one of those, or?
So for the best games right now, I mean, I'm playing Baldur's Gate and Valorant, so I think that's the swap. Fortnite and Assassin's Creed are kind of out at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, currently doing a YouTube playthrough of Immortals of Avium. That is a weird game.
I've seen it. I haven't watched it.
I'm loving it, but it's different.
They gave that to us for free on PlayStation. I think like right when I got the PS5.
That's why I have it.
Yeah. So I was gonna actually let you finish the game, get your opinion on it, and then I was gonna debate on playing it myself.
So far, it's fun. The story's just it's doing this thing, and I think it's like slowly explaining it, but it does not hold your hand and tell you the story really early. So you're just trying to figure it out as you go, which is really weird in a world where magic is so prevalent and you don't understand much of why.
Mm-hmm.
But neither did your character, so it's kind of cool. But it's different for sure.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, trying to check now.
I'm here for it.
Ew.
Oh god.
I'm at like 1,300 hours in Fortnite.
I probably don't want to know.
Now, I can tell you, probably 1,000 of that is the first 10 seasons.
You're right. Yeah. Back when Fortnite was,
Back when it was, I'm streaming this 12 hours a day, every day. We're playing Fortnite. We're getting Vic Roys all the time.
Victory Royale. Yeah.
Yeah, Fortnite. We about to get down.
So, the next question, I asked for your favorite movie. And you gave me a list of 5. Because
I'm sure.
as I've said, I'm perfectly fine with lists. What do you think those 5 movies were?
Revenge of the Sith is on there. I think Breakfast Club is on there. Ooh, what else is on that list? I've hit the wall.
I'll give you this. You just reviewed one of these movies on Dueling Fates.
Was Interstellar on there that early?
Nope.
Oh. Was it Tombstone? What the hell else did we review that I would have been that high on that long ago?
So, you want me to give it to you?
Oh, I gotta go look at what we've recently put out.
I will say,
with us being a month ahead, I don't remember like what's coming out as if I just recorded it, because I recorded it over a month ago.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Boondock Saints?
There you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's good stuff.
I will say 2 of these I don't know if you're going to get, because like hearing you talk about these 2, I was like, okay.
I'm not even going to keep trying.
So those 3. You said Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, valid.
And The Pursuit of Happiness.
Ooh, Pursuit of Happiness is so good. Don't know if I'm putting that on my list again, though.
So, why don't you give me a new top 5?
I had probably just watched it at the time.
I figured as much, yeah.
Even though that's a, like, kind of old movie. I feel like I had just watched it. So Interstellar is for sure going up there. We haven't done it yet, but The Martian's going to go up there for the same reasons as Interstellar. You do science well, you're going to have me. So if it's a good movie outside of that, you got me. Revenge, so there's 3. I don't hate having No Way Home on there. I really don't. Though I could also see myself switching it out for Spider-Verse. Probably could have done that at this time too.
Which one?
Probably Into. I didn't hate Across, but it did not have the same. Boom.
Didn't hit you the same.
No, still great, and I still want the next one whenever that's coming. But
2026, I think.
God, are we all even going to be alive by then?
It's always a crapshoot.
That's fair. That's why I hate looking forward to movies. It's like, this is coming in 4 years. It's like, I'll be dead by then, bro. That's fucked up. And then when I'm not, it's like, oh, sick movie.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
Let's see. I think. I mean, I might leave Boondock Saints up there. I don't hate that either. It's weird. I've mostly been watching just like TV shows, so I don't.
I mean, that's valid because it's a good time to be a TV show guy right now. Like,
yeah, and even like all of Marvel shows. And Star Wars at this point has just been TV shows recently.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the Marvels, which I loved. Don't know why everybody hates it so much, but well, I do, but we're not gonna get into that. What's a good 5th movie? Well, I know a bunch of movies I could name. I'm just trying to like.
Right.
You know what? Because we've had the conversation about it, and I'm not gonna like talk the whole way, but I'll just give it the sentimental spot at this point. Even though I acknowledge it's not that good of a movie, but actually it's perfect. So fuck you. Or Love and Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Because you remember when it came out and
what
was happening in my life and how I went to see that movie every day for like a week and a half.
Yeah. Yep.
It was a reason to deal with life. So.
I get that.
Good movie. Good movie.
I get that.
That. Good to me. It worked through a moment in time. So.
Yeah. No, I absolutely get that because like I'm the same way with a movie called Four Brothers.
Okay.
I completely get it.
Yeah.
So obviously, we go from favorite video game to favorite movie to a top 10 music playlist.
Oh, I didn't make a new playlist, let me tell you.
That's fine. And honestly, like, I don't know if I would ask you to or not. I was really fighting myself on how I wanted to do this. So what I think I'm just going to do is I'm just going to do this. I've got the Small Talks Top 10 playlist live on Spotify, which you can get the link down below in the description. It is currently almost 6 hours long.
Nice.
It is an incredible playlist, which I will say only 2 songs have been removed off of it because of Spotify. Ooh. Which one of them is, well, I mean, they're both certified bangers, but unfortunately, one is a Matthias pick, the other one is an Entity pick. So that is unfortunate.
Were they FTI songs? Because I know a bunch of those have like disappeared.
One is an FTI song. The other one, I believe, was Bray Wyatt's original theme.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which they're not even showing up on this playlist now, so maybe they're just gone. But, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through what you picked, and if maybe you'd swap any of them out for like a new jam that you've been digging lately.
So I just pulled up, so YouTube Music does like your Spotify Wrapped thing. They do it every month, so I'm just going to go look at that and see what I've been listening to, apparently.
Oh, fair enough. So, All Fucked Up, the Amity Affliction.
Yep.
Play This When I'm Gone, MGK.
Yep. Great song.
title track, MGK.
Oh, God, I was really obsessed with Tickets to My Downfall at this moment, which is fair. Good album.
Summer Nights by Kennedy.
Yep.
Love Race with MGK and I think that's Kellen Quinn.
Yep.
Jack and Rose by Kennedy. Come and Go, Juice WRLD, and Marshmello. In the End, Linkin Park.
Yep.
Psycho, specifically the metal cover by Averia?
Avira? I don't remember how you say their name.
And then coming in 10th, Why by NF.
Not bad. I still listen to most of those songs.
I say, those all still in your
still in certain
stream?
Playlists, for sure, yeah. Apparently, the 5 songs I've listened to the most since March are Stick Season by Noah Kahan? Khan? I don't know how to say his name.
Okay.
Great song. Fake as Hell by All Time Low featuring Avril Lavigne. Chronically Cautious by Braden Bales. Self Love from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Metro Boomin, and Coi Leray. And then Lace It by Juice WRLD, Eminem, and Benny Blanco. Those have been my apparently 5 most listened to songs over the last couple months. And apparently I've listened to 12,000 minutes of music in the last since March.
Ooh. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. I've been listening to a lot of, this is going to be a wild thing to say, but a lot of songs that were made by League of Legends. Never played it, but like they're made for like the game and the tournaments and stuff. Just like the, they got Imagine Dragons to do Enemy for the Arcane series. So it's stuff like that. There's one called Paranoia, and one called Gods, and then Legends Never Die, which is.
I was going to say, I think Jedi showed this to me.
Yeah, maybe
they were DMAC free.
Oh, I did not know they were.
Yeah, I'm
dope, though.
Pretty sure they're all DMAC free.
That's a W.
Yeah, for sure. So,
but I don't think I did too bad. Also, Dream. That's a really weird person to bring up. The YouTuber, the masked YouTuber, the green hoodie man. He made a song called Paranoid that's really good. Don't know. I didn't know it was a Dream song, so we heard it at TwitchCon. And me and Wonder were walking. It started playing like in the Glitch Theater. So like it was like the main stage. So they were doing like a Twitch Rivals thing. That song started playing. I was like, damn, what the fuck is that song? That's incredible. So I did the, stupid Google trick where it'll like listen to the song and tell you what it was. I was like, really? That's a fucking Dream song? And, yeah, it's really good for no reason. Yeah.
Fair enough. So we'll just say that you'll kind of swap out a couple of those with maybe some of the ones you're listening to now. Yeah.
Probably a couple of the MGK ones, just because even though they're still on my playlist, I mean, I don't need that many MGK songs on my on my list. Let me tell you.
For sure. And we're gonna round up the big guys' top 5 with probably the hardest hitting question that I've asked everybody, and I always love the answer to this question because typically it's different, but it all relatively is around the same. There's just so much bullshit in the world, so much disdain, so much hate, so much nonsense, especially with everything going on in specific parts of the country and the world. So you did this once. 2 years later, I'm going to ask you again. If you had one thing to say to the world, what would it be?
Do what you can't. somebody tells you you can't do it anyways. Not in like the illegal way, you freaks. But I feel like the correction needed to be made there because people are dumb.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, the whole content creation thing. The entire world tells you can't do that. So do it. Do the thing that the world doesn't believe you can.
I don't remember who said it. I feel like it was Becky Lynch.
Ooh.
When I think she said something around the lines of like, I'm always good, but when you tell me I can't, I'm great.
Yeah.
Something to that extent. So,
yep. That was her feud with Rhea, I think.
I believe so. Yeah.
Leading into Mania. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Strong words as always from the TheGeekSlays.
I know
That's another edition of Ero's The Big Guys, Some Person's Top 5. I still haven't figured out all the quirks yet. I don't know if I'm the big guy. I don't know if I'm Ero. I don't even know if I'm Eric. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm just here, man.
I don't know if I can ever call you by your real name. I don't know if that's possible. I also don't think I've ever heard you call me by my real name, and I'm real cool with that.
No, it's definitely happened. I've definitely called you by that name a couple times. But
not like seriously, it's been the joke.
Right, yeah.
Because I've also done the Eric thing, and I got the weird look from you when you asked the one character, the NPC's name, and I was just like, Eric. And you're just like, really, dude? And I was like, oh, fuck. Right. My bad.
No, I think we did that for a Revolution thing, is where we all did each other's actual names, but it wasn't like right after another. It was like, all right, Josh.
Right.
All right, Chandler, what's your favorite?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. No. You know what I want to do now?
Huh.
I'm going to see if I can find a night one weekend where you and Jedi go record a couple of those to just like make a YouTube video out of it. Like, hey, you guys remember this thing? Check this shit.
I'm there. Have it start off where like you're just sitting at the computer and then me and Jedi pop up and you're like, hey, remember when we did this one thing?
Right.
All right, Ero, guess that ass whooping.
That was still so good. I have that shirt now, only mine's the All Right Geek, guess that ass whooping.
I still need to buy that. I'm bad when it comes to merch.
Costs money, man. I get it.
That it does.
I get it. It took me 2 years to finally buy the Eat Pallet Bitch shirt after talking about it for so long.
Which is hilarious because Brackle's talking about taking that design and redoing it. And then posting it on her, I think, Redbubble. We've also just talked about taking my fourth wall and making it our fourth wall, putting a bunch of like her made designs on there, and she's coming up with several things for like Vampire the Masquerade, stuff like that. So, but
still gotta convince you to let me in your next D&D game. I refuse to let go.
Honestly, it may not be too much more convincing because I'm about tired of having to look for fucking people.
It's fair. And it's one of those things. We can have Astraeus and this guy fight it out. Or you can make me do what you have to do literally every session and role play conversations with myself. It's just, that's what DMs do. I know how to handle it.
You gotta have a different voice for him, though. That's the thing. You did go with Lash.
I was gonna say,
I'll tell you that.
Zalash I did actually pretty well. There was only like the one time where I like started talking. I'm like, wait, hold the fuck up. This isn't right.
Yeah.
Let me find it again. I don't know why I couldn't keep Astraeus at all. I could not find that one if I stopped using it.
Dude, voices are hard. I know better than anybody.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you, going from like Gundren to
God,
going from Gundren to Sildar to Vincent in that first episode, like I was surprised I did it.
That was incredible.
And then we
had everybody hooked.
And then we take off like 2 weeks, and I've gotta remember like the random bitch who like pissed off Wonder, like because she wouldn't give him enough gold for the stupid title belt or whatever.
Yeah. So
but
such a good time.
I would be remiss and us having this big long discussion without bringing up some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Because for those who do not know, I have always wanted to play D&D. I have. I am a nerd at heart. I always have been a nerd at heart. But D&D was something I never touched. Up until this guy talked me into playing. And and now, well, I mean, I literally have a dice tower on my desk. Only because there's not enough shelf room. But anyway, so at some point, I do think I want to do a podcast with like the original group of the Heroes of Caldori.
Yeah.
Have you, Braggle, Wonder, Jedi, and then of course myself.
And Entity.
And Entity, if he can swing the time. I know he's
Fair.
a super busy boy. Shouts out.
Yeah.
Shouts out to my favorite bard.
Shouts out to our favorite Kiwi.
Yep. But like at some point I think that would be super cool to do. And then maybe follow that up with like a fan Delver podcast.
Yeah.
Have the group get on, maybe even Miller if, you know, he feels like it. But like where did, like, I know we've talked about it a couple times. Where did Larlock come from? Like was he a geek original, or was that like kind of taken from something?
The name was taken from something. I couldn't tell you what. But him as a villain was entirely me. Just because, so the game that I had set your guys' world in is the game that I had played in, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And we still have never gotten to the end of that game, and I probably will never get to see that one end. So that's why I made Heroes of Caldori, is I got to craft my own ending for that game, which, if you remember, was we defeated Grimspell, who was what we thought was the big bad, but Grimspell had actually been holding back Larlock, like had him basically contained, and then you kill Grimspell, Larlock shows up, basically everybody dies, it's a whole problem.
Yeah.
But it was just my way of being able to finish a story that never got to be, and use that as a jumping off point to create my own story that I knew I'd get to finish. At least hopefully. Sure. I guess I could have died randomly, but I wasn't planning on it. So, well, you know, you could just have an aneurysm at any moment. Like, it's just a thing.
I guess I wouldn't wish that into reality.
I'm just
though.
saying shit happens, man. Or, you know, I could have got hit by a fucking bus or something. I don't know.
All right, Darby Allin, calm down.
Well, yeah. God damn it.
But, like, I don't know. Obviously, with it being my first campaign, Larlock will always kind of, like, hold a special spot, obviously, because, like, he was the first big bad that I had to go up with, you know, a tiefling that I think pretty much hated everybody in the group. A paladin who I refer to as Shiny Man.
Shiny Man, yes.
An archer who I was convinced couldn't hit anything. And then, of course...
That was my favorite part of the whole game. You never once saw him hit a shot. Not one time. 15 months of a D&D campaign. Not one time did he see Jedi hit a shot.
Not one time.
That's so good.
While Jedi saw me take off several heads and take down a full-size deer by snapping its neck. Like, yeah, man, it's crazy.
The only kill you ever saw him get was stabbing that one guy in the back.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you saw him be afraid of a jackalope.
But then, of course, the Goliath / Dragonborn. Because, you know, they both died.
Well, that was rough. It is sad that I killed the same guy twice. Though I also killed mostly killed everybody. Like, not full permadeath, but everybody was down past 0 at least once.
Golfrek was. I know that for sure.
Yep.
Wasn't at the end game, but, like, getting there.
The only one at the end game who was at 0 but didn't die was Ridley. because he just took enough damage and didn't fail the dex save. So it's like you still get fucked up, but you're not dead. And Lockstar failed his dex save and took way too much damage. He got annihilated.
Dude got squished by falling, houses.
Was it Meteor Swarm? Meteor Swarm is such a wild spell.
I think so, yeah.
I had to go out with a bang, Oh,
yeah. So, looking back at that crazy 15 months that we spent together, what would you change?
I think I feel like I got to the point with it where I didn't like what I had done a little bit originally. I feel like I didn't build up the story well enough. And then we got to a point where I couldn't really start the build because it had already progressed somehow, even though I didn't feel like there was enough depth to it. I know 15 months, but we also had a 3-month break in there and a bunch of other little weirdness. So
no, we definitely did. We tried our hardest to keep it bi-weekly, but life
happens, man.
Jedi, me, Wonder, all working IRL jobs.
Yeah.
Entity being, a whole nother continent away,
yeah, and then me randomly going on trips or whatever. It's like, yeah, I can't today. I'm suddenly in California. I don't know what to do with that.
Right.
So yeah, but I just think. So for my next game, the thing I'm working on is I want to set it in in Faerun, however you want to say it. Don't care.
It's Faerun.
Faerun. Yeah, whatever. None of it matters. It's pronunciation.
Right.
Of fictional words. None of it matters.
Imagination.
Right? It's but I want to do something set in that world.
Yeah.
But outside of Baldur's Gate, and your campaign, I have no experience with the Forgotten Realms and Faerun, and
yeah,
I guess I read the Drizzt books, or at least the first one. So I have some Underdark stuff that doesn't help with most D&D campaigns.
Yeah.
Though I have considered running a Drow game, but I really don't know if I can find a group of people who's going to want to only play Drow.
I give it a shot.
That's the thing is you can only be a Drow. That's it. No other thing. That might not be cool for some people because it's I want to make my own thing, and I get that. But I played in a Drow game once, and that was one of my favorite games ever. It was awesome.
I was in an IRL campaign that was supposed to be this whole big thing. We did one session.
Yeah,
that was it. I actually played a drow. What was he? I think I was gonna go war domain cleric, but I chose warlock instead. I still kind of wish I would have went with war domain cleric because that entire premise seemed really interesting, especially with the drow.
Yeah. But so right now the only thing I'm doing is focusing on learning about that world, that realm, whatever.
Yeah.
Just so I can have the knowledge, because every other game I've played in has been a custom world and
a
custom
fictional
everything. Yeah. So I want to.
Fictional.
It's all fiction, but there was no book I could read. It was just from playing the game and learning. And when you don't know something, you just make some shit up. It's I guess you can do that with the Forgotten Realms, but I mean, there is a history there. There's things that have happened, which is good. That means there's things to play off. There's gods to know.
Yeah.
So I want to do a little bit more of that before I start that one up. But we've talked about it.
Oh yeah.
That one's definitely coming. It's going to have you in it, probably Caleb.
Probably
Wonder.
I've got 3 characters that I'm bouncing between.
Oh, dude.
Super hard, man. I don't know which one I want to do.
So maybe by the time this episode comes out, I will have officially joined the game Miller runs.
Mm-hmm.
If not, I don't know. Spoiler alert for anybody playing in that game who listened for an hour and 50 minutes of this podcast.
Just about.
But yeah, I made a character for his game that is just the most tragic motherfucker I think I've ever made, which I love. All D&D characters have to be tragic, but this dude's just next level. And then I did the one shot with him that was set in the past. So I have this thing, and I talked with him about it, and I've probably talked with you about it. The way the books talk about half-elves makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why does a half-elf only live 150 years? Like, they should live like 500 years at like the minimum, because that would be half of a regular elf's lifespan, and like the mid mark between regular elf and human. So Miller just let me do that. He's like, yeah, you can age like how a half elf would make sense to age. It's like cool. So his one shot was like 100 years in the past. So I played in that, and it got even more tragic just from that moment, because he was like a 250-year-old half-elf, so he'd already had some life. Then like the entire thing is like, oh, now you met this group, and none of them are elves or beings that live more than like 80 years, so you finally found friends, and now you have to watch them all die. Sick, dog. Love that.
That is rough. That is rough.
But like this character, so he's a sorcerer, a shadow sorcerer. So your power comes from the Shadowfell, being exposed to it at a young age. So I made it like a whole Shar and Saluna backstory. So like I was sick as a baby. My mother prayed for Saluna to help, and she never did. Shar offered to, but the trade was mother's life for mine. But you had to go to the Shadowfell to do it. So then I got cursed by the Shadowfell because you're not supposed to go there. It's the Shadowfell.
Right. Oh, man. I'm already
so, like,
hooked.
It's a whole thing with that. And so, like, he's really fucked up. Like, he's the palest motherfucker. His hair doesn't look like hair. It looks like a shadow. And it kind of moves like one, too.
Okay.
He, like, solid black eyes, and he has the Haunted One background, so it's the like people look at you and just know you've been through it.
Yeah.
And so I played that as like he's always been kind of treated by people like he was a monster, because he's looked like this since he was a baby. So to the world, he's been viewed as a monster. Then Miller had one of the NPCs for that old group who was like a 50-year-old human lady who immediately treated him like an actual human, like a person. I was like, oh yeah, he fell in love with her. That's just how that works. Which is depressing as shit, because that is a 50-year-old human lady, and this is a half-elf who's going to live for another 250 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to fall in love with her and watch her die in 20. That sucks. So that's like, it's this whole thing of like, this is going to be the most depressing motherfucker of all time. I love it though, because now, but I get to have this character who lived back then with the group that his new group is like trying to follow in the footsteps of and complete their mission. Mm-hmm. This character was there. He knew that group. He knows the mission, which I kind of love that as just a whole premise.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think. Made a bunch of other. I spent the other night just making a bunch of characters. I'm so ready for any game.
So here's the thing too. So I'm working on the secondary group, as I've said before, and well, for those that are for the uninitiated, I did my original game, The Lost Mine of Phandelver. Geek, Brackle, Wonder, Jedi, and originally Miller Football, who unfortunately had to step away from the game, couldn't finish with us.
Yep.
Basically, my entire idea for this giant game that I wanted to do was a 1 through 5 campaign with one group. Then I was going to go to this other group, 1 through 5. And then 5 to 10 with the Phandelver group, 5 to 10 with the second group, and then 10 to 20 with both groups. Basically, Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that was pretty much my idea from the get-go with this entire group. So, and I won't lie, it has been somewhat difficult to get this second group up and running. Because as you know, for some reason, it's rather difficult to find people to play Dungeons and Dragons, and it's even more difficult to find a third DM.
Oh,
we're accepting open applications for that, by the way.
Yeah, if you want to run a game so me and Eero can play at the same time,
yeah, that'd be great, because me and him both have characters that I think would just bounce horrifically off of each other, and it would be hysterical.
I wonder which ones we'd run with. I have so many options.
As do I. But, no, so I just... D&D's great.
Oh my god.
Like, it has definitely been something that I have just fallen, like Scrooge McDucked myself into just headfirst. And I hate myself for the fact that I waited this long.
Yeah.
Because, like, I had a D&D group in high school. Like, it was there. It was right there in front of me, and I didn't grab it. Like, it's... And, like, maybe it was because there was a whole nother group of kids that I didn't hang out with in school. Maybe, I don't know. Take that for what you will. School was school. But, like...
Valid.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. But yeah, for that game, once you get everybody else figured out, if you want me to jump in just so you have somebody else, and also, as far as I can tell, another player who's played.
Well, that was going to be my next point I was going to bring up with that, is that right now the group is looking, I don't care if it gets leaked or not. Reigns of Onyx, Dawn Day Afternoon, potentially. Caleb, Jake Talk Sports, and then maybe Saint Lemony.
Oh, yes.
Saint Lemonie's got some stuff going on, so I don't know if he'll be able to or not, which I totally understand. Life is life.
For sure.
Nobody gets that better than the two of us.
I was going to say, it's just like when Miller had to leave Bando. It's like, it's life, man. You gotta do.
I didn't want to see Kavan go, because I thought I had a story to tell with Kavan.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll get to tell that story at some point.
For sure.
But yeah, so Onyx has never played. Don has never played. Jake has only played what's that game? Cthulhu, the Cthulhu TTRPG?
Call of Cthulhu, and he did play in the first quarter of the one shot that Miller ran the other day.
Oh.
He never saw combat, he role-played a little.
And then dipped?
So we started really late, and he had to go to... And it was like a middle of the week game, so he had to go to bed. Which one is that? Is that the Nobinator?
Nope, that would be Kylo.
Really?
Yeah,
Kylo's being out loud today?
He's been very vocal tonight.
Well, hello. Spoopy boy.
Yeah, he's been rather affectionate. He's been kind of weird lately. It's been kind of nice, actually.
Yeah.
But
Shadow. Yeah, so many dumb ideas for characters.
Oh yeah. I've come up with a few joke characters that I think would be really fun just to play, and then hopefully they get killed, because I don't think I could do a whole campaign with them.
Caleb's one-shot character. I was so annoyed by the end of it. It's the first time I think I've ever cheered when another player character died. Like, they die, it's like, oh, thank God, dude.
In my one-shot, or the one-shot that y'all did?
The other one. It was wild that I did 2 one-shots in the same week.
Oh,
your one-shot was great. Your one-shot was... They were both great, but yours was insane. I feel like you were so mad at me because I built the douchiest character.
I don't know.
Maybe not mad, but just like, dude, what the fuck did you do?
I will say, you outsmarted the Hell Room. Super good. Like, mage hand, pick up the shield, and just run out the fucking door. Like, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, all right, I gotta come up with something different about that now.
that was good stuff. All right, what else we do? And then just my dumbass, Yeah, so there's shadows, and this hood really helps. So I'm just gonna take a step back, and I disappear. God damn it!
I do want to say I had 2 of my 3 players downed.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even with my final boss. It was with the guy that you guys should have killed 3 rooms ago. But you just would not fight him.
I didn't want to fight the poor armor man. And then we convinced him to help us.
Yeah.
Which, incredible work.
Yeah. No, it crazy how that game went.
Oh, it was so fun. Yeah, the other 2 players were down, and I hadn't been hit yet. I hadn't even been targeted yet. It was ridiculous. And then I had to fight the suit of armor alone.
Yeah,
but
you did.
Whatever.
It's difficult to hit you, though, when I couldn't fucking see you.
Yeah. Dude, I felt kind of bad. I was like, if I was DMing against this character, I'd be so fucking pissed right now.
Thinking about it now, considering that the other 2 didn't pick a single magic item, I should have been like, why don't you take away the cloak? But it's fine. It's a one-shot.
Even then, though, in that room, it wouldn't have mattered. Because it was so dark.
Right.
Being a Gloomstalker, it would have made the rolls a little easier for whoever's rolling to see me, but
yeah,
not by a lot.
That's the difficult part, especially with the however long we did Fandelver for. You and Wonder put a lot of little pins in my plans with Fandelver. Let me tell you, not being able to get a 5 feet away from Wonder without him being like, "Oh, I hit you."
Oh, yeah, you're running up at me? Well, bam.
Yeah.
God.
And then you, Mr. I'm going to eat an apple while I JoJo pose.
I still love that. It's so good. I need to get an Estrellas portrait drawn up at some point of him just JoJo posing with the apple.
Yeah. I've been having Brackle work on a Golfrack thing forever. I don't know if it'll ever get done because she's not super confident with character portraits like that.
Sure.
And Golfrack, man.
It's the whole thing we talked about when I made one. Is it's probably not going to be exactly how you.
Oh, and it'll never be. Even
I don't think
miniature.
It ever could be. Even if you could.
Yeah.
Even if you had the insane art skill, I just don't know if you could ever do the vision in your head justice. That vision that you have. I don't have one of those. I have learned how much better D&D must be for all of you because you could live it as you're playing it.
Yeah.
It's wild that I'm so into it without that ability, though, I think.
Honestly, yeah, it is.
Or the fact that I can build a world like that without, you guys are seeing something. I'm not, which is wild.
Yeah.
Weird.
No, I definitely give you mad props. But
it's been my thing. The reason I don't want to run my game yet, the one reason I'm kind of stalling, is I want you to start yours up, and I want to be in Miller's, because I don't want to be running a game and not playing in one. I think that'll make me really unhappy really fast. The creative outlet of being a player is much different than being a DM, and I need that part.
No, trust me,
to be able to DM.
I miss playing. I miss playing so much.
Yeah. It's funny, we're both waiting on each other to start up their games. Come on, motherfucker. Come on.
Well, no, honestly, I'd start mine tomorrow if I had the full 5 that I wanted. Honestly, I'm about to say fuck it and start with 4. But, I won't lie. You'll probably be the 5th.
Let's go. I'll even let you pick the character. I'll read you a list. You can pick the character.
No, I'll let you create whatever you want.
Well,
but
so you know what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to wait and see what everybody else wants to make and then pick which one of these characters makes sense in that group.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. You're going to start at level 1.
I know.
And you've got to take this guy all the way to... Or person. You got to take this person all the way to level 10.
Yeah.
And then, once the 2 groups finally collide, we got to figure out what we're doing. Probably got to pick a character. Yeah, we got to figure out what we're doing.
It'll probably just be Estrellas. He's too much fun.
I feel like you love the whole Loki dynamic.
I mean, that was what I was going for, but it got so much cooler than I expected. And then we randomly met Balder. That was wild.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
I loved it, though. I also loved that I was the only one to figure out what was happening.
Right.
Wait a minute. What? Well, I like it, but I'm kind of terrified. I can't do anything to Balder.
Well, looking back at it now, there are a lot of things about Phandelver that I would change. That being honestly one of them.
Really?
Because like a vision with Balder would have been fine, but I don't think I should have gave you the potion that like miraculously fixed the Black Spider's self-destruct thing. Because like that's how I wanted it to end, was you guys killed the spider and then he blew up, basically taking Wave Echo Cave and taking it completely out of everybody's grasp, which means all that mithril that's down there is no longer accessible and all this other shit. But
did we even use that potion, though?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember how that exactly had went.
Well, because you guys killed the spider, and then at the end when he was about to blow up, you just dumped it on the wound. Because he had taken the top of the staff and stuck it into his heart.
Right.
Because originally...
That was entirely avoidable, but we're dumb, so...
Because originally, the Black Spider was a one-hitter quitter main boss.
Yeah.
And I took him and buffed him severely.
Having hit... Dude, do you know how pissed I would have been if I would have walked up and one-shot Eldritch Blasted him?
You absolutely would have. Like,
what the fuck is that, dude?
There's no, like, in that campaign, and I understand it's a starter campaign, it's a level 1 through 5, but, like, how are you going to have a potential random encounter with a dragon that you can completely not do be the strongest thing in the campaign? And I get it, it's a dragon, sure, but we're talking the main guy here.
The main guy doesn't even have to be the strongest, but like goblins were harder to fight than him.
I literally killed Kavan in the first episode with a goblin. I couldn't get any of you below half health with I can't remember his name now. Nesnar.
Yes.
The Black Spider.
Dude. And I loved so many things about that. But that was such the campaign module for Phandelver just confuses me.
If I could go back and maybe do a take 2 on that entire thing with the same group, with the same characters, I would change so much shit, and I would take out, honestly, half of it I would probably take out. Yeah. And I would just replace it with like different stuff. Honestly, I think you guys would do a lot more fighting in Phandalin. Honestly. But I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe one day.
I think the only fight that happened in Phandalin was the one I started because we saw the stupid red bloke guy.
The red brands.
Red brand guy just assault that one chick. And I didn't even say anything. I was just like, nope, Eldritch Blast. And critted. So it's like, oh, that guy's head just explodes. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Sorry about your dress, ma'am.
Saying that poor girl just gets covered in head matter.
Yeah. I felt kind of bad, but also it's like, I saved you, but also, sorry. I think I remember because I gave her like 30 gold. I was like, sorry about the dress. My bad, dude. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
I was just trying to help.
No, I do feel like I need to apologize in advance because this second group is going to get such a better game. Although I say I'm going to need to apologize, you're probably going to be in it.
If I'm in it, then no need. And even if I'm not,
they're going to get such a better game.
That was also your first time running a game. That's a whole learning experience that is very important.
Well, because also what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to like combine 2 games. Because I haven't found a secondary game that I'm like super happy with. So I found one, but it only goes from levels 1 to 3. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do for 4 and 5. So I have an idea, but we'll see what happens.
Interesting. I don't want to try to help you figure out plans because it's more fun if I know nothing.
No, I think I've got it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to homebrew some stuff for it, but we'll see. But but then of course after all this, after my big Avengers and Guardians game, I want to do a whole nother campaign.
Of course.
That one's my Heroes of Caldori.
Right.
That one's my 1 to 20 with the same group.
I don't even think Heroes is going to end up being my Heroes of Caldori. I don't think it'll be my next game either. Yeah. There's something, I don't know. I want to wait. I want to find, and this isn't a shot at anybody we've played with yet, but I'm waiting to figure out the perfect group for that game.
Yeah.
Because I think for a game like that, it needs to be a really crafted group almost.
Oh,
not
absolutely.
just this is who we have available at this moment. Like, it's going to be a very particular set of people, and I don't know who yet. For my magnum opus-y one.
Mm-hmm.
Caldori was just weirdly my first go at writing a story.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did kind of okay.
I would agree. It was 15 pretty enjoyable months for me anyway.
I had to write an ending for my favorite D&D character I ever played. I kind of felt bad about it. I was like, but I need my moment in this game, and I'm not going to even try to have a big moment like that with the villain.
Yeah.
I want it to be this character. I also tried my best in most of the game to not have him do anything other than like the weird, like, help you get around sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want him actually there for fights. Outside of the wyvern. It was way too early to throw a wyvern at you. But I also let you guys fight it for like 3 rounds. And then I was like, that's not going well. Let me, maybe y'all aren't ready. It didn't help that the only person there that knew the way to beat it refused to remember. Was it a wyvern or no, it was a hydra. My bad. It was a hydra.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And yeah, so it just kept healing itself over and over, and none of you guys would have had a reason to know what it was, and the only character who did just refused to roll well enough to remember what it was. It's like, but you can't figure it out apparently.
Right.
It wasn't like I could, say, oh, that's a 12, you can kind of remember that. You'd roll like a 3. It's like, dude, I can't give you any information here. You're so screwed.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah. Because I think you guys could have taken it. You just didn't know how.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I get. I don't know how to beat a lot of different things. So normally the answer is just hit it until it dies.
That was my entire life with the Heroes of Caldori, was hit it until it doesn't move anymore, and then hit it some more.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever play a barbarian ever again.
Valid. I remember my favorite moment of that entire game was final battle. So I kind of did Larlock wrong, but I'm kind of okay with the way I did it. Being as I built him as a lich, there should have been something else that you guys had to destroy, but in my head I made it so you did. But the whole thing of, at the moment, because you guys ended up destroying the gems while you were fighting him, but he still had them during the crit double op from Wonder, where he just walked up and one-shotted the big bad. I still love everybody being like, oh my God, it's over. What a play. And then he just like stitched himself back together.
Yep.
And everybody just like, oh shit. That is not good.
Yeah. No, I remember that too. Cause I think I like threw off my headset and like went around the room and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that was a moment, man.
Iverson just fucking, oh my God.
Everybody calmed down and it's like, yeah, you guys are all really happy. And then you just see his body start to like clasp back together. Oh no. Which is how liches work.
No.
Right? No, wait. Oh, yeah. That was such a good time, man.
Yeah. I agree.
Good days.
Hopefully we can relive something of that soon.
I also went through like 3 setups during that time. I think I moved my setup like 3 times.
I think so.
Because if I remember correctly, Caldori finished here.
I think so, yeah.
Which is, we did it? I gotta go look now.
When
did Caldori finish?
That's a great question.
Dude, I don't. It feels like it could have finished last week or 4 years ago, and
actually,
all of it makes sense.
I can give you an exact date because I uploaded a TikTok about it.
I was going to say, I'm going back and just looking for the VOD of it. I have the finale VOD. Only the finale. Oh, can I just sort by fucking visible?
Here we go. November 12th, 2023.
Oh, so maybe I wasn't in this one yet. I can't remember when I built this. No, I was. I was in this setup. Dubs.
Yeah, because I posted a TikTok with the pictures that I made.
Yeah.
I think it's in Hero Forge, off of the original mini that I made of Golfrak, and then the second mini I made of Golfrak with the Soul Cleaver and fucking Mjolnir.
Oh yeah, Golfrak has Mjolnir now. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Golfrak became besties with Thor, and then Thor died.
Yeah. I forgot I murdered Thor in that game.
Yep.
Yeah. Because that was the whole point, because Larlock was powerful enough to kill all the gods. Yeah. And I thought the only way to truly prove that was, like, the minute you get to, like, the final area, you just watch him murder Thor. Which is a moment that is memorable.
That is insane.
Yeah.
I will say the only thing I'm not going to like about doing future D&D stuff is I don't really have a way to record it. I'm sure I could probably find a way, but like it's going to be so difficult off of what I've got here.
I can record it.
Yeah.
For sure.
I figured what I'm going to do is I'm going to let whoever wants to stream it, they can, and then maybe if they can just save the VOD for me, and then I can upload it.
But if I'm in the game, I'll do that, and it'll have the Arcana check little overlay thing.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to overlay any of the pictures you send and whatever, and just like, here's this person, and here's this person, and whatever.
For sure.
So, if I'm playing, I can do that for sure.
I mean, I don't want to say that you are, but you might be.
I'm not going to quit until you either start the game without me or start it with me, and either way, I will accept it once you start the game. Until then, I'm going to push for it, just because I want games.
It doesn't help that I don't want to say names about this part, but it doesn't help when one of the players I've invited, because I have a Discord for all of this.
Yes.
I've invited them all into one specific area in this Discord. It doesn't help when one of the players hasn't said a single fucking thing since we started talking about everything, and I'm trying to get all the details finalized. It also doesn't help when another one of my players has everything wrong going on in life that he absolutely can, which obviously he has no control over. And
right.
I've only apologized to him a million times.
Yeah.
But, also only having, the weirdest days off possible.
Yours are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday.
I knew it was goofy. That's right, because I was going to do my game every Tuesday, because that way you could play.
Yeah.
Because every Tuesday...
Which I will say, so actually it might work on if you want to do it on one of my work days. I say might. Only because they're switching me around, kind of. This stopped being a podcast episode forever ago. This is just us shooting the shit now.
It really didn't, though. This is just what a podcast is.
This is true.
It's just dudes yapping.
This is a great episode. I love this. But, so, obviously, with it being still on the podcast, I'm not going to give 100% detail, but...
For sure.
It looks like I'm going to be going from regular packaging delivering to, like, XL stuff. So it's like a lot more heavy stuff, but it's a lot less. but I've got to do a fuck ton more driving.
Gotcha.
But with that, I start
your days
earlier.
off will stay the same?
Yes, but cool. I also start earlier and end earlier.
Okay.
So
I still think going with one of your days off just works for most people better, especially since I talked to Ant, his work schedule works. So as of right now, I think the group that we're looking at for my next game is going to be you, Wonder, Anthony, and Caleb.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
interesting.
You get, two newbies, not entirely new to the game. I just mean new to you playing with them. Fresh
Definitely.
meat.
Well, and it'll be like if they've watched anything with Golfrack, this next character, like depending on which way I go, is going to be a completely different story. Like, it's going to be wild. I also wait.
Still can't wait. Part of me wants to save my Smart Hulk Barbarian for a game I get to play with you. Just so you get to, like, this is how a Golfrack Barbarian works, and then here's how this weird Barbarian's going to work.
Right.
I'm trying to think. I feel like it's less Smart Hulk and more just, like, regular Hulk almost.
Yeah.
Though. It's like just mindless blood rage. And I'm like, oh my God. Why the fuck do I keep doing that?
You see, you talk about that guy, and I have a guy that I think would work really well opposite of him. I'll just tell you. It's a Kenku wizard.
Okay.
That I have named Axius.
Axius.
He is stupid smart. Like, almost maxed out at level 1. Like, it's ridiculous. I rolled so good with my stats. But he is, like, stupid smart. I gave him the Haunted One backstory.
Nice.
And I have this entire thing with him where it's just going to end up being this tragic fucking crazy, like, Rocket Raccoon-esque story. And, like, it's some of my best work.
D&D really is only good if there's a bunch of tragedy involved in your character.
Mm-hmm. But then on the opposite spectrum, I've got Rook, who I did for an IRL campaign. Well, IRL, it was over Discord, but I hated the DM for that game.
Nice.
He was, oh man. So he played favorites.
Oh, nice.
Really bad. There was a paladin in the group. And granted, it was super awkward because there was like 7 of us and none of us knew each other. So like when this guy was trying to get us to all talk to one another, it was like, but like there was a paladin, and the paladin had main character syndrome like a motherfucker. And he just took him and they ran. And like the rest of us were back here, and I had a really, really fucking cool character that was just ruined because of this fucking campaign. So I really want to give Rook another shot.
That's really lame.
Because Rook is my Warforged druid.
Oh, yeah.
Basically a transformer. And it's the coolest idea I think I've ever fucking had.
See, I don't understand the playing favorites thing, because like I feel like no matter who the character is, you can create those cool moments. Like every time there was like a single thing that happened. The only time somebody got a cool moment while nobody else did was like that weird Wonder. The paladin got zapped out of existence for a moment. Well, to you guys. That just had to happen. Bro just one-shotted the villain. The villain needed to get him the fuck gone. Yeah, so it's like, okay, I need a reason for him to be the fuck gone, though. So let's make a thing. Like in all the other moments, the like visions you guys had of like family members or whatever. Make those cool moments for everybody, because then it's a really cool thing. Even if they don't care that much. You know, because some players don't have the same level of into it, right? But it's like, give your cleric their moment with their god. And give, the tragic barbarian a moment with his family that died. And the paladin that weird moment with his family. Where it's just like, I want to get back to them, but I can't. I have to finish this thing. and then just confuse the hell out of your rogue that was your high elf that was raised by dwarves. Just confuse them. And then turn him evil for a minute.
Jedi, I love you, brother. And I've got to tell you, you have improved so fucking much since
True.
Ridley. But, like,
True.
you didn't know what you were doing with Ridley. And it's okay. It's completely okay.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's your first campaign, bro.
Yeah.
You have only gotten better. And let me tell you, I'm forgetting his name. The Bard.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, that was fun as shit.
You did a hell of a job with the Bard, which I know Jedi will probably listen to this later. Hopefully he listens to this long.
Oh, he'll make it to here, I promise. Bro listens to everything.
We love you, Jedi.
What
also,
was his
I'm waiting for your episode. Your part 2.
Merrick. He was Merrick.
Merrick. That's it.
Because we had Merrick and Dumber. Merrick, Dumber, and Zalash.
I love how I just ended up calling you Lash because I couldn't remember what the
Bro
fuck
couldn't say Zalash.
Nope. Couldn't remember it. Every single time I went to talk to you, I was
Zalash.
like, shit.
Had to do a really weird voice for that character. That was fun.
Ugh. That whole campaign one shot was super good.
I kind of want you to run a campaign just for those characters. Yeah. Or
I mean,
Zalash is going to exist, I think, for like, we get to that big, the meetup point where everybody's level 10.
Yeah.
And then, we kill off the one character and Astreus is the only one alive. If he dies, I think Zalash would be the person I'd want to replace him.
Ooh, okay.
Like the backup for that world where it's like, she could work her way into that group. It would make sense.
Yeah, definitely. Well, especially because, like, I've got ideas with Brackle. She doesn't know if she wants Kazarin to continue or not, and, like, her backup character is really cool.
Yeah.
Jedi's had ideas about Ignis, and then I've kind of talked to my second group about their character ideas, and, like, they already know that at some point this is going to turn into a big fuck-all game. So they're not trying to make characters based off of what we already have, but like Onyx is trying to be somewhat different.
Right. Of course.
So, and like I think it's going to be really cool if all of the stars align. It's going to be a really cool thing.
Pre-prepared, I have 2 different monks. One is a Tabaxi, and the other one's a Shatterkai, the Shadowfell elves.
Oh, okay.
Then I've got my Changeling Rogue. That one will piss you off so goddamn much. I'm going to be such a murder hobo. And I can play it in the way where I can never get in trouble for it. Because why did the king just murder that random person on the street?
Yeah.
No one knows, but fuck you. He did. Now. My High Elf Barbarian. Just my Hulk, I guess. Then I've got a Tiefling Tempest Domain Cleric.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. He's interesting. Then a Gnome Artificer, because gnomes are already known to build shit, but I'm going to build that one to be at level 3 where they go the Armorer route.
Oh, okay.
So build a gnome who just builds herself a little suit of Iron Man armor. I think that one will be sick. I've got a Dragonborn Wizard and then a human Paladin. Just for whatever reason in my head, Paladins are humans.
So now you got me looking at my characters.
I got a bunch ready. I'm so ready to play a game, man. I've got characters prepped.
So I've got Anguarius.
Anguarius.
He's named after my favorite Godzilla villain.
Okay.
He's a lizard folk ranger. You have Axius. I've got Daki Zaf, who is an Arakakra fighter. I just came up with this one. Actually, I just remembered. Actually, I might be playing D&D tomorrow with another group on fucking Discord.
Oh, gross.
We'll see how that goes.
I
it's
can't
a one
do
shot.
the randoms, man. I just can't.
I don't know. these people seem cool. I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
Fair.
But I chose a Minotaur Ranger. His name is Lufin. And I'm totally going to make him talk like Patrick Warburton.
Oh my god.
You have Rook, obviously. Toshin, who's my monk. My old as dirt human monk.
Right.
And then Tut, my nature domain cleric. And then I've got, in the back of my head, I've got Riker. I've got Parseric. I've got so many. Thurnak.
I've got my barbarian. So, how many of those are female characters, Zero? You ever going to play a female character?
At some point. I need to play more than just one male character first.
I know everybody felt that one was... It seemed like everybody was kind of surprised by that. Because I think that's the first time most... I don't know about you, because you've played games outside of our groups. But like for Jedi and Caleb, that was the first time I'd ever seen somebody play a character that wasn't the same gender as them, and I thought that was kind of funny.
No, I have never played in all of the random games that I've played, everyone's either, if you're a dude, if you identify as a male, they played a male. If they identified as a female, they played a female.
Yeah.
But
now, half of the characters I have pre-built are females also. Yeah.
I think at some point I'll play
my barbarian is going to be one. I think that's even... That one only happened... A lot of these, the reason they were decided, I didn't type it in a specific way, but I used an AI image generator to like find pictures for them.
Oh, okay.
So it just kind of depended on what the coolest picture I found was, and that's how that was decided. Because in none of their builds did it matter. So I was just like, give me a cool picture and you win, man.
Yeah.
It'll work.
There we go.
So
no, I think at some point I'll play a female, but also like it's like Brackles said 1,000 times. For whatever reason, I can't make a female voice not sound slutty, so I need to figure out that first.
Hero's got that internal slutty gene, apparently. I don't know what's up there.
Hey, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's all right, though.
But so at the beginning of this, we said that we had to beat an hour and 52 minutes, which is what our first episode, the pilot part 3, went. We're currently at 2 hours 31 minutes. So we absolutely beat it. This will be the second longest, because the episode with Entity and Matthias, I think, still went over 3 hours.
All right, well, we gotta keep it pushing. Let's go. Keep pushing. See, you have a real life and a job and shit, so you like, I know tonight's you're off today, you're off tomorrow, I get that. But like, you still have a life and a job and all that shit, and then there's, me, who like woke up at this point 8 hours ago, but it's like I'm still gonna be up for another 12, so like who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's easy for me to stay up till 3 in the morning.
Right.
Maybe less so for you at this point, but
unfortunately. But
the dude's got a regular job. And like a weird scheduled regular job.
At this point, honestly, now I would say it's more regular than Lowe's. Lowe's, I had to be there at fucking 4 a.m.
Lowe's was really weird. Yeah.
Like, that was stupid. Stupid
as
shit.
Awful.
I hated it. But it paid really well, so I was willing to deal with it.
Valid.
But here's the thing. Man, I didn't think I was going to do this until... I didn't want to do this until I knew for sure. And then, I mean, if I could just be honest, it was going to happen. At some point, I'd like to have you on for a third.
Oh, for sure. Always down.
As of right now, I've got to... I think episode 6 is booked. Yes. I've got all the way up until episode 6 booked. That is your peek into the future, my wonderful small talk fans.
I'll give everybody a hint. I vote you wait until sometime at like into October or later for my next one. Because I got both of those trips, so that would give a lot of things to yap about.
For sure. Well, I mean, obviously we didn't have any problem yapping about stuff tonight.
Well, no, but we also, we haven't done much yapping in a while.
No, we really haven't.
So,
ever since I retired, it's
just a bit of a catch-up moment.
Yeah. Which, I mean, obviously is always a good time.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think that's going to do it for us. 2 hours, 34 minutes. The longest episode yet of Small Talks with the Big Guy. I say Small Talks with the Big Guy because it is the longest Small Talks with the Big Guy. We'll see if anything happens. So I don't usually do this either.
Ooh, doing a thing.
But only because I think this will be fun. Geek, I'm going to see you again real soon.
Oh, true.
Because the next episode 4 of the best podcast that you've never heard of, may just have a familiar face that you're seeing right now.
Hi.
And we'll see who caught that little detail.
Yeah, we will.
If you did, comment
Make a guess
down below
on who the other one that's going to be here is. Because there's many option.
Yes, there really is.
Or other ones.
Other ones, yes. Geek, tell the beautiful people where you can find you.
At TheGeekSlays everywhere. That's why I picked the name, because I could get it everywhere. Or TheGeekSlays.com. That's a cool website. You should check it out.
Yeah, you get some merch.
Yeah.
To my listeners, I'm wearing a GeekSlays t-shirt. I don't know if I ever said that during this podcast.
I'm wearing an Eero t-shirt, kind of. Doesn't have his logo, but it does say "Eat Pallet, bitch."
It does, because I have said that several times playing Dead by Daylight.
See, I both miss Dead by Daylight, and then I think about playing it, and I go, man, I really don't miss Dead by Daylight.
You see they put Vecna in there?
I did.
I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit of a letdown.
Really?
The map is super cool, but, like, I don't know, man. I gotta, you have to pay for them, and, I get it. It's DLC. The coolest part, I think, they got Matt Mercer to fucking voice him, and, that is just awesome, because I'm such a Matt Mercer mark.
Valid.
But, I don't know. I also haven't played Vecna, but...
I don't even know if I agree with that. I just like to argue.
Right.
Brennan Betta. No, but I eventually need to go watch the Critical Role campaigns. I think the higher likelihood ends up it being I just watch Vox Machina.
Dude, Mighty 9 is really good.
Aren't they making a Mighty 9 series too, though?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing, is because I won't be attached to those characters in the way where I'm playing them, I do enjoy the clips, so I don't know. I might have to give it a trial run.
It is
with
different.
The way my brain works, I don't know if it'll be better to watch the D&D games or to just wait for the shows.
Yeah, I get that.
So, yeah.
Which we are getting season 3 of Vox Machina in October. So
do need to start Vox Machina, but yeah,
it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Shouts out Matt Mercer. Let's get you on the show, baby.
Oh, dude.
Critical Role. Let's get you on the show. Fucking, I'll take all. What, 6 of you? I'll take all 6 of you at once. Let's go.
Phrasing.
Had to get that in there once this podcast.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything big cooking that you could maybe give us a little sneak peek on?
I am working. So, if anybody saw it, I made a retrospective talking about Infinite Warfare. I think the title was was this Call of Duty? Was this game a hidden gem or something weird? I can't remember the title off the top of my head. I have a couple more of those currently in the works. I also have a really big Baldur's Gate 3 project in the works. Don't know. That might be a year out. I genuinely don't know. There's a lot to it, and I struggle with starting a project and not being able to finish it right away. So it's like when I know I'm going to have to do other videos, I don't want to start it. So it just keeps getting pushed back because I keep doing other things.
I assume that is going to be a massive, like, super lengthy project.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we both know how long that game is.
Yeah.
Especially with doing, like, couple hour YouTube videos for it?
Yeah. So I think my entire plan is to do I'll just give you the overall and why it's going to take so long.
Ooh.
And why I can't do it yet.
We're getting a sneak peek here, folks.
The story of Baldur's Gate 3. Which means I have to beat it in every possible way and find out every single bit of information from that game.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big project, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
but
yeah, man.
Yeah, that'll be one. It'll come out 2 years late, and that's okay. But I'm working on it. It's just, the retrospectives for Call of Duty take a long time, and those are very small stories.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine.
Yeah, so it's a fun time, though. I love those big projects, man. They're fun.
Definitely.
Also have a bunch of little stuff. Gonna start. I'm stealing an idea, but that's all making any type of content is stealing ideas. Mm-hmm. It's also how DMing works. Oh, you did a thing that I really like. I'm gonna start doing that. How did Brennan Lee Mulligan put it in the one Critical Role game that Mercer was DMing?
Yeah.
I have also been using that always since now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way Mercer does like deception or whatever.
Yeah. Deception and whatever persuasion, deception checks. Incredible.
Yeah.
I definitely want to start doing that.
Leave it to Mercer, man.
I mean, that is just the thing. Anytime you play with a DM, you're gonna want to rip something that they do away because, like, they do something. And the thing I really want to rip away from Hero, I just can't. Bastard. Dude, his ability to do voices, man. I can do some voices, but his is just next level.
Yeah, I just wish that this fucking thing could, like, pick up the sounds I make, too.
I think most of that is a Discord issue. I'll show you how to fix that setting later. Because Discord has noise suppression, and that's what it's doing. So you can turn off the noise suppression, and it'll probably catch it. Yeah. That's why when I do the thing where I play music, like, I switch the input to, like, my mic to my stream output so you can hear, like, game noises or music. Discord cuts out the music because it stays at such a regular frequency that it just thinks it's background noise and it just cuts it.
Goddamn.
But I don't really want to change that because, like, in a Discord call, when I'm running my air conditioner, nobody in the call can hear it. And that's good.
Yeah. Because you just hear this fucking demon in the background just...
Yeah, pretty much. So... Yeah. The video idea that I stole, we got very distracted with Mercer and D&D again. I think we could do just a D&D podcast, not even about a specific game. We just yap about D&D for 3 hours. So everybody's done tier lists. That's not new. But Moist Critical, Charlie, I know you know who that is, but you might not recognize just off the name, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So him and one of his buddies do tier lists, but they go out and buy everything that they're ranking and then, like, try it and then tier list it. I'm going to start doing that. I think the first one is just going to be frozen French fries. That way we can move into doing dips and know what the best fry to dip in those dips is.
Okay.
Those are coming up. As well as, I think we talked about it on this week's Scuffed As. The minute I hit YouTube partner, which at this point all I'm working towards is the 1,000 subs, me and Wonder are going to do just hot ones.
Oh, God.
The entire thing.
I wish I could be in person for that.
You've already seen how I handle. You've seen me handle da bomb once. It's right to there.
Yeah. Oh, that hot sauce.
Oh my god.
It's ooh.
Because if I remember correctly, I just sat there with milk tipped like this, just laying my tongue in the milk. That is just how I sat there for like 20 minutes.
That sauce is just an atrocity.
It tastes like kerosene, man. I hate it.
Yeah, it's just an atrocity. It's
and we're gonna do it again.
Sean Evans, I'd love to have you on the show.
Brother just wants everybody on the show. That's valid.
Man. Hey, the mission statement of this show is that everybody has a story and they deserve to be heard.
That's
and
fair.
Also, I really just want to talk to Sean Evans for like an hour. I think that'd be fair. But I also want to talk to Doc and John Cena and Matt Mercer. And I want to talk to the GeekSlays, and I want to talk to Jedi Joker 93, and I want to talk to other people that I maybe have booked on this show that I don't want to give away names for.
Yeah.
But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to end it for us here. 2 hours, 45 minutes. We almost did it.
Dang it. We tried.
It's okay. Hey,
you already tried to do the outro once 15 minutes ago, so it's okay.
It just means that we got to go past this for our next episode.
True.
Keep your eyes out for that, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sure there'll be enough to talk about after 2 conventions.
Oh, definitely. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for tuning in to the best podcast that you've never heard of, Episode 3, who I think we have officially decided is Attack of the Geeks.
Attack of the Geeks.
Geek, thank you, brother.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
I love you, man.
Love you too.
And I want to thank you, the viewers, the listeners. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And we will see you in about 2 weeks on episode 4.